Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this live stream, we are going to be watching the British and Irish Lions versus the Sharks match that is going to be kicking off very soon. There was a lot of uncertainty around this match, that is for sure, whether or not it was going to be taking place or whether maybe it was going to be postponed, like the match between the British and Irish Lions and the Bulls. But we are here for the match. It is going to be taking place, and it should be a very exciting matchup. The Sharks, of course, are a dangerous side when they are playing some good, hard-hitting, fast-paced rugby. My cat is very confused at what is going on at the moment. He normally is at this time of the night. But yeah, nonetheless, if you do enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. He is looking very confused at the camera. Anyone who is wondering, he is blind in one eye, which is why that left or right eye is looking a little bit different to the other. But yeah, nonetheless, he is a rather old cat at this stage, about 18 or 19 years. He is happy to be here for this live stream. I think he will end up sleeping on my lap throughout this one as well. But yeah, hopefully we have got a good game of rugby ahead of us here. And if it is, we will be certainly in for a treat. But nonetheless, we will look at the starting lineup and reserves for the Lions, or sorry, for the Sharks versus the British and Irish Lions. My cat is keen for that idea by the looks of it, which is very good to see, isn't it? But yeah, I will quickly bring those up for you guys as well. Hope you are all doing well in the chat at the moment. It is good to see so many of you here, even though it is currently 5:42 a.m. here in New Zealand. It's a late night start, but we wanted to be up for this game because we thought it was going to be a very good one indeed. But yeah, nonetheless, I am just getting these lineups ready for you guys as well. But we have got a couple comments in there. Hamish, who are the players that caught COVID as well, says Aidan. I'm not actually too sure of the players for the Bulls by name, but I know that there were a couple of the British and Irish Lions support team, I think it was, that ended up contracting it, unfortunately, which meant that maybe this match at some stages looked like it could have been called off, but they did go ahead with it, which is going to be interesting to see how this match goes. But the starting lineup of the British and Irish Lions and the reserves, they are looking decent as well. I am quickly getting my live stream all ready to go as well. And we have got Kyle in there. Good morning, brother, as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. The Sharks should win, by the way. Hamish, just curious as well. That was from Aidan. But yeah, at this stage, I'm not too sure of who the players are. For the Springboks, I believe they have got 10 cases, though, which is a relatively big number in that regard. So you don't really want that many cases anyway, let alone in a side that are supposed to be possibly heading into some test matches very soon as well, up against the British and Irish Lions. That game between the Springboks and Georgia has been completely postponed or completely cancelled at this stage, which is a big shame, because I know that the Springboks would have been wanting to get a bit more game time under their belt as well before we get into the matches up against the British and Irish Lions. Right, my lineups, unfortunately, aren't going to be popping up on the screen for this live stream. Couple technical difficulties, but I will still be letting you guys know exactly who is going to be on the field for both sides here. So we will quickly get that up for you guys as well. But we have also got in the chat anyone that normally starters for the Lions that call it, or anyone that's normally starting. I don't believe so. I think it was just a few members of the support team at this stage, because they did have a couple cases, and then they said if they were going to do more testing, whether or not the cases in the afternoon, if any of them did end up showing up, then they were going to be possibly cancelling this game. But they must have come back clean, and we have now got this game of rugby that we are going to get to see between the British and Irish Lions and also the South Sea Sharks. We will put the red, of course, for the British and Irish Lions to the right, starting with the lineup of the South Sea Sharks. I will be reading it off for you guys. It is going to be Quincy Mona in the number 1 jersey, Fez Mbata, and then also it is going to be Machunu, who is going to be starting at 3. Then the locks, it is going to be Van Heerden and also Andrews. Then loose forwards, James Fenter, Bolly, and also Pepsi Boudelezi. Now, he is a dangerous player with ball in hand. I am excited to see what he can do up against this British and Irish Lions side. Then Jaden Hendrickson is starting at 9. Number 10 going to be Kuhn Bosch for this one. I know a lot of people have been throwing his name around lately. Also, another name that I feel like should be getting thrown around a little bit more is Thakur Abrahams. He had a phenomenal game up against, I believe it was the Western Province, how somehow he had cat-like reflexes, just sprung back to his feet and set up a beautiful try for Hendrickson there. Then Marius Lowe and Jeremy Ward making up the midfield. Number 14, Werner Koch, and then Marnie Lebok at number 15. And that closes out the starting lineup for the Sharks. Then looking at the British and Irish Lions, it's going to be Marco Vunipola, Luke Cowan-Dickie, and Xander Ferguson as the front row. The locks are going to be Ian Henderson, Adam Beard, making his way into this British and Irish Lions side. That is a lock pairing that some people have been calling maybe a little bit weaker than the other positions, but nonetheless, then at 6, Josh Navidi, number 7, Tom Curry, and also number 8, Sam Simmons. Then number 9, going to be Gareth Davis for this one. Dan Bigger at 10, Duhan van der Merwe, Bundy Aki, Elliot Daly, Anthony Watson, and Liam Williams are going to be the rest of the starting lineup for the British and Irish Lions. Then we look at the benches. Van Veeren, also Machunu, Herbst, Vandermesh, Heku, also Richardson, Grant Williams, and Anthony Volmink the bench for the Sharks. Then for the British and Irish Lions, Ken Owens, Rory Sutherland, Tyg Furlong, Tyg Byrne, 2 very talented Irish players there sharing the first name, Jack Conan, Connor Murray, Stuart Hogg, and then also Chris Harris. And that is the rest of the reserves for the British and Irish Lions. We are still probably sitting around 15 minutes away from kickoff, but we have got plenty of information that we can go over. But for those of you who are just tuning in now, and if you haven't heard already, the game between the British and Irish Lions and the Bulls that was going to be taking place this weekend has been postponed. So that match isn't going to be taking place this weekend when it was going to. Also, the game that was going to be happening on Friday morning New Zealand time between the British and Irish Lions and between the Springboks and Georgia, that has also ended up being cancelled. Confirmation from the Lions that one player and a member of the Lions management team has tested positive for COVID-19 following PCR testing as part of the tour screening program today. Not sure who, though. Says, I still didn't manage to say your name properly last time, I don't think, but it is Sa'apinen. Hopefully I pronounced that somewhere near what it is. But yeah, unfortunately, that does mean that the rest of this tour is kind of up in the air at the moment for whether or not the Springboks, if they're going to get any more game time before those test matches, because those are only around, I think it's 17 days away or something like that. They're getting extremely close. It may even be less than that. I will quickly have a look on my phone for this. But looking at the previous results for the British and Irish Lions, they had that win over Japan, looked relatively comfortable in doing so. Then that match up against the Emirates Lions, they looked like they struggled just a little bit more at times, but I mean, tell you what, the man in the number 14 jersey, or was he 11? I think he was 11 for that match. Josh Adams getting 4 tries, well and truly bumping up the amount of tries that Wales have scored in the Six Nations. At this stage, they are well and truly leading. And it's going to be impressive to see who is going to be the leading try scorer of this match. Do let me know in the chat as well. Is there a player on the field that you think is going to score 1? Or actually, we'll go 2 or more tries. Is anyone on this field going to score 2 or more tries? I'm going to throw in a complete random, or not random, but I feel like Buthelezi is getting at least 1 try in this match, just off the back of the scrum. That man is phenomenal. He is going to be one for the future. He is captaining the side, I believe, as well. Got those leadership skills, even though he is still such a young talent. So I am looking forward to seeing what he can do in the future for the Springboks as well, possibly in the future getting that jersey. But looking at the British and Irish Lions, last time they had a very good performance up against the Emirates Lions, or the Sigma Lions, as they are called. Just saying what's happened. What's happened? Really fast. Shahapnan, all good, brother, as well. So it's Shahapnan, possibly, if I'm not wrong. It is actually, it's got S and then a question mark on my streaming software. So I'm not sure whether that's actually what it is on YouTube, but Shapan is what I will go with, or Shapanen, sorry. And then it's got, do you think the Sharks can get the W? I think it's going to be closer than the game between the Emirates Lions and the British and Irish Lions. Whether or not they can get the win, though, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard game. The British and Irish Lions, they will be playing a very aggressive game here because of the fact that they don't know whether or not they're going to be playing next week. They don't know if they're... Oh, my cat almost fell off my leg in that situation. He doesn't seem too happy at the moment. He wants to sleep, I think. And he is like, why are you just randomly talking to yourself? I am not too sure what's going on, but it is currently almost 6 a.m. here in New Zealand. So he is probably due for a bit of a nap, although he did have one before when we did have the other game, which was between France and it was Australia. That one came down to the final minute of the game between the Griquas and also the Stormers. No, sorry, the Western Province. That came down to the final minute as well. The Griquas actually able to get that win. So it's one of those ones that maybe this game could also go down to the wire, couldn't it? Yeah, could do. We have also got in there Morning Hamish and Billy as well from Birdie. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Must currently be around that almost 8 p.m. there in South Africa. The game did originally be, or it was originally scheduled for 8 p.m. there, and then it got pushed back to 7 p.m. to kind of accommodate the Euros. But then now, because of those COVID cases, it has now been pushed back to that 8 p.m. start, which does mean, of course, 6 a.m. here in New Zealand. Nice early morning start for us here. But yeah, hopefully it will be worth it, and we do get to see a very good game of rugby on the cards. I will quickly make up my banner that I normally have for these matches. And yeah, the game between Wallabies and France, if you guys have seen the highlights, do let me know what you think of that match. It went down to the wire, but I feel like there were many opportunities for both sides to be able to win that game. France at the end, they have been said, unfortunately, that they had a little bit of a choke in that situation. Ended up just throwing the ball around off the line out. And then it did lead to the final minute little moment for the Wallabies to be able to get that win as well. But we are just typing in the British and Irish Lions. Every time I type that, I get excited, and it is going to be up against the Sharks in this match as well. I'm excited. I feel like this match, both sides, I think we're going to get, it's either going to be close and it's going to be kind of around that maybe 20 points per team, or it's going to be, we're going to get to see over 60 points, I think, in this game as well. And we have got, at the moment it is 7:50, and also Manny Lebok to score the first try as well, says Aiden. And anyone got links to where to watch the game, says Charlotte. It does depend on what country you're in. What country are you in, Charlotte? Hopefully someone in the chat will be able to help you out. But in New Zealand, it is on Sky Go. In Australia, Stan Sports, and maybe KO as well. And then also Rugby Pass might have the games, but I'm not too sure, unfortunately. We've also got Sharks 29, British and Irish Lions 19, says Eddie. So that would be the upset win for the British and Irish Lions, for the Sharks. And that's the thing. They've got quite a strong side. Yes, they are missing their Springboks, but they still have like some of those players in that starting lineup. The likes of I'm looking at Thimbolani Boli. He has been playing very well in the last couple of weeks. Also, Pepsi Buthelezi in that number 8 jersey. Here's one for the future. Going to be exciting to see what he can do there. Kuhn Bosch, a lot of people with eyes on him. Abrahams as well in that number 11 jersey. Cat-like reflexes, this man, which is ironic because at the moment I'm getting a Tom and Jerry ad on my Sky. But yeah, it is the case of in that game against Western Province, the way he just sprung back to his feet, like the speed of that man is going to be one to watch in the future as well. Jeremy Ward, Marius Lowe, Werner Koch has been playing pretty well, and Mani Lebok at the back for that back line of the British and Irish Lions. We've also got their Lions 45, Sharks 21 for me, lads, as well, says Sir Happening, and also said that Springboks versus Georgia got cancelled. Yeah, it is a big shame because I know a lot of people were looking forward to being able to see that game once again. The last time Georgia put up a good fight in that game as well, and at this stage it seems, this is an old cinematic of the Sharks. I was wondering what was happening. They had kind of like a cinematic of the Sharks running out, but there was a crowd, and I got absolutely well and truly confused by that. But nonetheless, at this stage, I would say we are only around 10 minutes or so away from kickoff and getting underway. It's going to be an exciting matchup. That is for I'm South African, but the Sharks will get smacked as well. Eddie, not a chance as well, says BDG. We'll have to wait and see whether or not it is going to be the case of a big win for the British and Irish Lions, or if the Sharks can somehow try and pull off that upset. I feel like it's one of those ones that if you had a crowd there, it would make it so much better. But of course, with the COVID cases as well in the British and Irish Lions camp, it's a very interesting situation for the rest of the tour, whether or not we are going to get to see every single game take place. We've already had one that's been postponed. That was the British and Irish Lions taking on the Bulls, so that won't be happening in a few days' time. We've also got thoughts on Josh Adams at fullback as well, says Ali Bird. He certainly got pace to burn Josh Adams, like scoring 4 tries in that last match. He was phenomenal, and Charlotte is in the UK, so I assume UK, I feel like some of you guys may have to help me out here, but for UK, is it on, I can't actually think of what the provider in the UK is. Is it on, no, Supersport is South African. I can't quite think of what it is, unfortunately, but I'm sure someone in the chat maybe will be able to help you out there as well. They are showing at the moment 1 game postponed so far for the British and Irish Lions tour. Hopefully that is the only one, but we'll have to wait and see. Morning, Hamish, says David. David, welcome for tuning in, mate. Thank you very much for being here once again. I am excited for this match. It didn't seem like it was going to be taking place right up until the end. Sky Sports as well says to happening. So yeah, other than Sky Sports, though, I'm not too sure of the other providers that they have got over there. I'm sorry. And we've got Bulls versus British and Irish Lions likely to be rescheduled. Yeah, hopefully they can find a time to play that one, because I believe, if I'm not wrong, the British and Irish Lions in their kind of media release, I guess you could call it, they just said pretty much, right, we're just going to have a heavy contact day of training, and hopefully that will keep us in match shape. But at the moment, they are showing Sam Simmons. That man stays in match shape. How many tries did he get? About 21 in the Premiership for the Exeter Chiefs. That is phenomenal stuff from that man. Bundy Aki, they are showing, okay. This has actually changed. Owen Farrell's going to be at 10 and Ali Price is going to be at 9. So they have actually made a couple changes there. I better actually update that. And Josh Adams is at fullback. Louis Rees-Sammer out on that side. Okay, these are changes that I didn't actually realise had taken place at this stage. If they changed anyone else, I'm looking through. Seems like it's only that back line that they've had that little bit of a reshuffle. I'm going to have to write these as I go. I've got Dan Bigger as my thumbnail, but he is not going to be playing in this match by the looks of it. It's going to be Finn Russell as well off the bench, right? We might have to just roll with the punches here and just go with it. But at this stage, Ali Price at 9, Owen Farrell at 10, and then they are going to have Josh Adams at number 15. So that'll be interesting. It's kind of good to see him get some more minutes under his belt because of how well that he was playing in that last match. But I will mention, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated. We are currently sitting at 6 a.m. here in New Zealand. So we are staying up late for these games because I absolutely love talking to you guys while watching the games. We've also got who's in the Springboks 2 team as well, says Aidan. I'm not actually sure who they're going with yet in that side, but I assume there will be a few very talented players in there. So hopefully that game can take place as well. That's playing them too as well, says Aidan. Morning from Vietnam, 1 a.m. here as well, says Gert. So it is a early morning start there. Or depending on whether or not, did you go to sleep before this, Gert? Or are you staying up till this stage? Sharks will be whooped. Or whipped, sorry, or whooped, I think it is. Hey, Duhan van der Merwe as well, says BDG as well. And yeah, it's interesting. They're going with him on one wing, Lewis Rees-Sammer on the other. And then you've got Josh Adams at the back. This is going to be exciting. So that means Liam Williams taken out of the starting lineup, as well as Anthony Watson has gone out of there as well. And then you've also got Dan Bigger getting taken out of there and Davis. Those are the changes that they've gone with in that starting lineup as well. Aidan has said Ruan Penina maybe in the second team as well, says Aidan. So there will be a lot of speculations around who is going to be making their way into that South Africa A side when we do get to see them play, hopefully in only about a week's time. But now they are showing the British and Irish Lions. They're about to make their way out onto the field. They are showing Josh Navidi there. He will be glad to be out there. But they have had a few late changes in this side. The likes of Lewis Rees-Sammer added to that starting lineup. That's going to be a huge amount of pace to have Josh Adams at the back and then have Rees-Sammer on one wing, Duhan van der Merwe on the other. That's going to be a dangerous combo as well. Morning, Kiwi lads. Let's go, Lions, says Machu. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in for this one. It is hugely appreciated you guys all being here for these live streams. But now I'm rooting for the Sharks as well. He is playing against his birth country as well, says BDG, a damn South African as well. Yeah. Duhan van der Merwe, he's going to be up against some of his fellow countrymen, I guess you could say, in that regard. But it's going to be exciting to see what they can do. And the Sharks at the moment making their way out onto the field once again. Cape Town, the best stadium of South Africa, as well, says BDG. And Bulls might not play the British and Irish Lions on the 20th, or might play the British and Irish Lions on the 20th of July, and not at Loftus, but in Cape Town. But that is not confirmed yet. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because of the fact that these sides all, like, you're in that situation of we're just going to have to play the waiting game in terms of who is going to be able to make their way kind of playing in those games as well, because the squads are probably going to be changing very often. It's like for this game, for the British and Irish Lions, already making a whole heap of changes in that regard. We've also got in there, how's it? Clothesline tackle, Owen Farrell, please, as well, says, but I guess we were talking about the yellow cards possibly playing a factor. So we will have to wait and see if that is the case. I don't want to wait that long. As well, says BDG. But yeah, unfortunately, at this stage, it does seem like we will have to wait just that little bit longer before we get to see the Bulls play. But Jaco Piper is in charge of this match. We're only moments away from the kickoff, so we will quickly put our scoreboard up. I'm shuffling to the side a little bit. British and Irish Lions 0, Sharks 0, and we are just about to get underway. That was very shaky, me trying to center myself, but Duhan van der Merwe, they are shown there. Will Wales continue to be the highest try scorers in this competition in terms of the British and Irish Lions side? They've got Josh Adams at fullback. He scored 4 tries in the last match. It was phenomenal to watch. Now it is going to be kicked off by the Sharks going left to right at this match at Ellis Park in Johannesburg. That is the whistle from Jaco Piper. And this match between the Sharks and the British and Irish Lions is now going to be underway. Taken nicely by Josh Adams there, who is at fullback for this match, driven down just outside of his own 22. Going to be now Ali Price. Passing it away to the right-hand side. He is starting this match rather than Gareth Davis, who was originally going to be there. Now Ellie Price calling his shots, kicking it downfield on the left boot. Going for the high ball. Who's going to be able to take it all? It's almost taken beautifully by Reece Samet. Little knock on by the Sharks, and Navidi cleans it up for the British and Irish Lions. Ellie Price now going across field. Goes to Farrell now. Bundy Key. Elliot Daly with a quick feet. He is going to be in the number 13 jersey for this match. Offload back to Owen Farrell, almost shut down. And he is tackled by Bully just outside of his own 22 now. Going back, Ellie Price, short side now. Quick hands from the man in the number 7 jersey, which in this one is Tom Curry. Now firing the white ball out to Reece Samet. Not a lot of space for him. Does a little grubber in behind. And he's done it. Oh, he tried to do the little kick on. But it was taken nicely by Manny Labok on the halfway line. And Hendrickson now seeing a bit of space in behind and kicks it downfield. It is going to be an awkward bouncing one for Owen Farrell, but he does take it nicely now and kicks it downfield from inside his 22. That is a big clearance. Hasn't found touch. It seems like this match is going to be just a complete, just fast-paced game. That one's gone pretty much straight up, but it is going to be almost taken by Simmons. Little knock on, but it's a penalty to the British and Irish Lions, and I believe that was for offside there. So that is going to be nice for them. 50 metres out. So I assume they will be going for the touchline here rather than taking on the 3 points. It's one of those ones that they will play aggressively, because at the end of the day, they've got to try and use all of their tricks that they can, because of the fact that we're in that situation of the games. They could be missing a few of them as well. I hope the Lions get a few red cards as well. Lewis Reece Samet, just got first try for me. He's got so much gas as well. It's happening. And also, hi, long time no see. Welcome in, Finn McCarthy. Thank you very much for joining in, mate. We have also got from Birdie. Smash that like button, guys, and subscribe if you are new. You heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Show us the flipping screen as well, says George North. Unfortunately, because of licensing, if I was to show any match footage, the live stream would get taken down and we would get banned straight away from live streaming, unfortunately. So I am sorry, but there are a few options around the world. I think there are even some options that are free, but it does depend on what country you're in. But inside of the 22 at the moment, the British and Irish Lions. Price goes into the hands of the captain for this one, Henderson. And he is driven down at this stage. You can see the pace of the British and Irish Lions trying to play this game out. Little offload from Farrell. Reece Samet goes to Josh Adams, picks it up with one hand. And he has scored the first try of the match for the British and Irish Lions. And he has picked up from where he left off there. Tell you what, it's going to be interesting. Can he continue going the way that he is in these last couple of matches in those games against South Africa? But that's going to be a pretty nice, easy kick for Owen Farrell out in front. So I am going to make it 7-0 to the British and Irish Lions here. Good work there from Owen Farrell in the end. Little sell of the dummy, offload into the hands of Reece Samet. Found the offload as well to Josh Adams. Beautiful pickup from that man. And in the end, it did lead to the try for the British and Irish Lions to get this match underway, scoring very early once again, like they did in the last match up against the Lions. At this stage, I will quickly type it in for the British and Irish Lions. And it has gone straight down the middle from Owen Farrell as well. British and Irish Lions try scorers. I feel like there's going to be a few of them in this match as well. And the first one is Josh Adams getting it straight back underway from the 4 that he scored in the last match. Right, we will put that up. We are ready to go now. There we go. And we have also got in the chat, hi, I'm back, Sharks. I'm hoping for a win as well, says Gillian as well. And we have also got there, even though I live in England, I will never support them as well, says BDG. And love you boys as well, says Wilder Lion. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. Very good to see you here once again. Philip has said who needs to watch when we have best commentary as well. And thank you very much, Philip, as well. Hugely appreciate it. Ellie Price there just outside of the 22, kicks it downfield. And that one has found touch. I think it just bounced in the field of play. Yes, good kick downfield for Ellie Price. He wasn't meant to be starting this match originally. It was going to be Gareth Davies who was going to get the opportunity. Or sorry, Davis. I always get that confused, but I did hear Jonathan Davis as well. It said the same way. Come on, British Lions, says Fabian. And also we have got who to say at 7-0. Owen Farrell is always clumsy as well, says BDG. Luckily for him, if he had missed that one, there would have been a lot of questions asked with it straight out in front, but it is going to be Fezin Bata now for the Sharks. They want to get a little bit of possession. That one wasn't too straight, but it has now gone into the hands of the Sharks. It's going to be Werner Koch now with the big step sold, but he is going to run straight at Anderson, and they're going to try and hold him up. The knees are on the ground, though, and they have called it a maul, though, and that one is going to be stolen, and now Vunipola going to have a big run here. The number 1 for the British and Irish Lions, and they have stolen this ball now. It's going to be Cowan. Dickey goes back to Farrell now, firing it back to Reece Samet. He's got plenty of pace, fires the white ball over the top, goes to Duan van der Merwe. Oh, he's just run over the top of Manny Labok there. almost crushing the poor man, but inside of the 22 now. The British and Irish Lions, Ferguson, now getting a bit of a run. Now he was a player that was originally supposed to be playing the first match but got injured. Sam Simmons now spinning, trying to score a try here like he does in the Gallagher Premiership every week almost. Back now into the hands of Bundyaki running out of the line, but he is driven backwards in the tackle now. How long can the Sharks hold on? There's a player out there with no number. I think it is Owen Farrell, if I'm not wrong, but now it's going to be in the hands of Tom Curry. Little bit of a mix-up in terms of who was going to be taking that ball off the back of the ruck. Now it's going to be back into the hands of Navidi, little inside ball. Hands of Vunipola, sorry. Once again, Price goes back to Farrell, selling a few dummies. He has done the offload once again. Back to Price, goes to Sam Simmons with the white ball now. And it's out to Duhan van der Merwe, one-on-one with Thacker Abrahams, and we know exactly who is going to be winning that battle every day of the week. Thacker Abrahams, he's a good player, but he isn't Duhan van der Merwe. Definitely not when it comes to size. And it is another try for the British and Irish Lions here. We're at this one. And at this stage, they are starting matches extremely well. It was just a beautiful white ball. And once again, Reece Sammet was involved. Sam Simmons, beautiful white ball out to Duhan van der Merwe. And he was able to score that try once again. We will add that one to the list as well. This list is going to get long by the end of the match. I can tell you that right now, because the British and Irish Lions once again looking like they are going to be in form for this match here. At this stage, only 7 minutes gone in this match, already 2 tries for the British and Irish Lions. We will also add that conversion from Owen Farrell, 14-0 after only the 7 minutes. We've also got, come on, says BDG. Also, we have got in there is Duhan van der Merwe starting, says Carl. He is indeed. And he was just able to score that try. Welcome back, says David. And we have also got, that was a beautiful pass. It was indeed Sam Simmons. Not only does he score a lot of tries for himself, he does set up quite a few tries as well. And that was exactly what he was doing there. It's been kicked off long now, taken nicely by Sam Simmons, almost tackled in the air, but Werner Koch pulls out of that one. And that is an interesting statement when you hear it back in the air, but now it's going to be Ali Price who will be kicking this one for the box kick just inside of the 22. So it is going down the middle of the field, going to be taken beautifully there by the captain, Boudelezi. What can he do in this matchup? He has been scoring tries in the Curry Cup quite often, or a lot of the players offside there, and it's going to be an advantage now for the Sharks. Henderson trying to get in there for that ball. Hiron Andrews has collapsed there. I'm wondering if that was an injury or if he just set it up in the wrong place. But Mona now driving at the line. Yeah, Hiron Andrews doesn't look too good here. Looks like some sort of knee or leg injuries by the looks of it. And we always got the Sharks defense was poor, as well, says BDG. I think they are just outmatched for pace as well, which does make it very tough. Like when you've got that back line of Duhan van der Merwe, also Lewis Reece Sammet, and then Josh Adams at fullback, like every day of the week you are going to be always backtracking, which does make for a lot of gaps in that back line if you don't quite get it right. And we always got, it's not a good start from the Sharks. No, not ideal at all for them trying to get a win in this match. Perhaps, come on, Sharks, get in there, as well, says David. But now it is going to be Kerwin Bosch who will be kicking this one for touch, and it looks like Hiron Andrews will actually be coming off the field, so replacing him more than likely it will be JJ van der Mesh. So he is out there a lot earlier than he would have been expecting. Or actually, I think it's going to be Heku that they do go with. He actually scored a hat trick in a match a little while ago, and it was very impressive. Scored it in about 6 minutes or so, or somewhere around there. It was extremely impressive. If the Sharks get over 20 points, I'll donate R200, says BDG. What is the R? Is that South African currency? The Rand, is it? I'm not too sure, but do let me know. I mean, 20 points. Come on, Sharks. Let's see if we can do it here. We have got a great try from a South African. Van der Merwe as well, says Fabian. Yeah, he did well there. Of course, South African born, and almost South African born and bred, to be honest, to Van der Merwe, but he has scored one against his fellow countrymen here. And now it is going to be going to the back there. Nicely taken, is it? No, it's going to be awkward, and it's a little knock on. So now it is going to be the British and Irish Lions with the scrum feed inside of the 22. And sorry, I meant dollars as well. $200. Jeez, that is a huge number indeed. Let's hope they can do a decent job here then and see if they can get themselves 20 points as high. Like the Emirates Lions or the Sigma Lions, sorry. How many points did they get? I think they ended up with around 14 in the end, if I'm not wrong. So they need a little bit more. Trust me, 200 Zamunda shillings are worth nothing as well, says Mark Dunphy. See, that's the thing. I struggle with exchange rates and whatnot because sometimes we do get donations and they are South African Rand, I believe it is, and I have no idea how much it is. But then I end up doing like the transfers and all of that stuff. And I've learned that 1 Rand is 10 cents New Zealand, I think, if I'm not wrong, or something like that, maybe. Or maybe it is 1 cent. Could be 1 cent. No, it might be a little bit more. I think it is 10 cents, but now it's going to be the scrum free front row going down, and it's going to be a scrum reset in this one. But at this minute, 10 minutes into this one as well, and I meant dollars as well, says BDG. So, yeah, let's see if the Sharks can do it. 200 is a lot, to be fair. So, yeah, the Sharks at this stage, they need to have a good performance. 70 minutes left to only score the 20 points that they need. I would be happy if they were able to do so. Yeah, we will have to wait and see the front rows in this one. Mona Mbatha and also Machunu up against Vunapola, Cowan Dickey, and then also Ferguson. I struggle to say that name as well, and I know that on Rugby Challenge they actually censor his name, unfortunately for the man, Fabian. It is a normal try, or it's going to be a penalty to the British and Irish Lions there on the far side. Unfortunately, Quincy Mona going down in the front row, Fabian. It was a normal try. The pass was great as well, says Betty G. And greetings from Malaysia, 2:15 a.m. in the morning, 27 degrees Celsius, clear sky. I tell you what, it's always hot in Malaysia by the sounds of it. Sounds like, I mean, I would probably accept that at this stage. We're currently sitting -2 here in New Zealand at 6 a.m., which is a little bit chilly to start the day, of course, although I guess it's ending the day because I haven't got to sleep yet. That's a little knock on now from Ali Price, and because of it, the Sharks have got this ball 40 metres out from the line now. That one's popped out the back. Going to be Hendrickson, goes back into the hands of Mona. Now it's in the hands of Buthelezi, the captain, straight on the ball. They've got the advantage as well here, the Sharks. Hendrickson now firing it back, goes to Kerwin Bosch, looking for the backline movement. Going to be a little bit of the seller, the dummy, and it's going to be Marius Slow driving forward. But he has been dragged down there. A little bit of a counteract from the British and Irish Lions going short side. Buthelezi trying to bump off the tackle with Tom Curry, but he is dragged down. Now it's going to be Hendrickson going back, still under advantage at this stage. It's going to be in the hands of Van Heerden, but he has been tackled. That's an awkward-looking breakdown there. Surely that's not another injury for the Sharks. Now he has got up there, Bully. I was worried for a second. I thought they may have lost another loose forward in that one. Now it's going to be Hendricks that goes back to Bully now, and he is a dangerous ball runner. Curry straight on the ball, but not able to get it. Now it's going back. Hendricks once again. I believe they still have the advantage as well at the stage. Now it's going to be in the hands of Jeremy Ward, trying to find the gap. They're up to 7 phases at the moment for the for the Sharks here. Short ball once again. They are hanging on to it quite nicely now. Moving up to 10 phases, going back. Manny Lebok out to Werner Koch out on the wing, trying to run over the tackle. And he has done. Werner Koch running down the wing. He's got space. Little ball on the inside. Knock on from the Sharks there. Unfortunately, it was set up beautifully for them, but they didn't quite get it done. And now it's going to be a counter-attack from the British and Irish Lions. Elliot Daly kicks it downfield into space, and it's going to be going close to the touchline now. It's going to be in the hands of Marius Lowe. He has been able to offload it on the inside to Abrahams, and he has got to step on him, that man, but it's another knock-on from the Sharks. Now it was lost forward by the British and Irish Lions. Driving forward once again here now. They've got the advantage as well. Another offside advantage here, and they are going to be going back for the penalty for the for the Sharks. I keep on calling them the British Sharks at this stage, but we've also got, I'm surprised, Josh got the first try as well. It's currently 7-12 for me as well, says BDG. And what did the Lions do at the line out? Or what line out is that? I feel like I was a little bit behind, but they did have the line out on the 22, which in that one, they were almost able to steal the ball. It kind of went back and forth, but then it was a little knock on against the Sharks. So that is what led to the scrum. Morning, old mate, as well, says Peter. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. What time is it there at the moment, Peter? Is it currently the same as New Zealand at 6:15, or are you in a different part of the world? I struggle to remember what part of the world all you guys are from. I do try my best to remember all the stats and whatnot, but yeah, unfortunately did end up forgetting a couple of those ones of where you guys are. Also, time zones are another one that I struggle to remember. But Werner Koch just breaking through the tackle of Louis Rees-Zammit. He's actually wearing the number 10 jersey for this match, which is interesting, but he is out on that wing. I saw that line side on the news the other night. They looked huge as well, says David W. Yeah, they've got some big blokes in that front row and also just in that forward pack in general. I feel like it's one of those ones you got to have size up against South Africa, though. You got to try and out physicality the South African side, the Springboks, and that's hard to do now. This is going to be a short ball to Marius Lowe now. He is almost held up by Curry. They are currently only 20 metres out here, the Sharks, and they are hoping that they can get their way over the line. Maybe 3 times, make me $200, depending on how it goes. But that is if the chat does do it all a little bit high there from, I believe it was Beard, and now it's going to be an advantage for the Sharks once again. Oh, it's Ferguson shunted off there in the tackle. They've got another advantage. British and Irish Lions are going to have to be extremely careful here for the amount of penalties that they are giving away early on in this match. And now they have got the option of a quick tack. Jaden Hendrickson thinks about it, but decides against it in the end. We have, let's go. You can see Sharks are nervous. Their passes are bad as well, says BDG. I think it's also that rush defense of the British and Irish Lions. It's kind of ending up getting in their head a little bit. They're trying to work out the perfect move to be able to get through, but sometimes you just got to go with that back line that works in the normal situation and just hope that it works out here. They've kicked for the corner here, so playing aggressively. Yeah, the Sharks, as you've got to when you are 14-0 down after 15 and a half minutes in this one. I hope Western Province by Bosch or one of the Stains as well, says BDG. And that's the thing. Who knows? Maybe they have got plenty of money, the Western Province, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Could be an option in the future. That one is claimed there by Bully, and now it's going to be a rolling maul here for the Sharks. Being held still at this stage by the British and Irish Lions. They're going to be told to use this very soon. It's going to be Fez Mbata with the ball in hand, going to be passing it off the back. Jaden Hendrickson, aggressive run at the line, and he's still going. Only a couple metres short. Tom Curry flopping over the ball there, unfortunately, on the around this side. No, it's been stolen by Callan Dickey on the ground. And I'm not sure how they got away with that. The British and Irish Lions getting that ball only a couple metres out from their line. And now it will be Ali Price, who was going to be kicking this one downfield, probably going for touch at this stage. There's a good boot from Ali Price downfield. Into touch, Thacker Abrahams thinks about taking it quickly, decides against it in the end. And it is another good play from the British and Irish Lions. It was Tom Curry who originally got the turnover. I wasn't sure whether he kept his footing for long enough, but he ended up kind of falling over, and then from there did have that ball, and it was turned over. In South Africa time is 8:15 at the moment, says Fabian, and also balmy evening in the heart of the Sharks territory in Durban, and Sharks about to go Sharks as well, says Shanae. So hopefully they can put up a decent performance here in this game. Should be an exciting contest between these two sides. It's already had 2 tries, and we are only 17 minutes in, so hopefully that does continue in the future. But I do see that we've got quite a few people watching. I do appreciate you all being here. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. They've missed up that line out there, unfortunately, for the Sharks, and now the British and Irish Lions going to be claiming this one 40 out from their own line. It's going to be Owen Farrell, the man with no number on the back. Of course, a few late changes for the British and Irish Lions due to COVID cases. That's going to be Mane Lebok. Tackled out. Werner Koch able to keep this ball in play. Now it's going to be Jeremy Ward. Back to Thacker Abrahams. He's got a step on him, but he is shut down by Tom Curry straight away. Josh Adams straight on the ball, but I believe that almost was going to be an advantage. That's going to be a penalty there. Bundy Aki coming straight through the middle. And it means that it is going to be the penalty to the Sharks. Oh, a little bit of push and shove out there as well. Still a bit of push and shove. And it is the men in the number 12 jersey, Bundy Aki, and also Marius Lowe, just having a few words there as well. 8:18 at the moment in Cape Town, says Trevor as well. And bro, can you turn the camera? I'm on the night shift as well, says Ridley. Unfortunately, due to licensing, YouTube have the copyright system of pretty much, even if you show a second of footage or audio, they just end up taking the live stream down straight away. So I wish I could show you guys. But yeah, unfortunately, then they ban you from live streaming for 3 months. But I will try my best to keep you informed. What are you doing at the moment for your job as well for the night shift? Is it, do let me know. I am curious in that regard. Is it in South Africa that you are as well? So you will be starting at maybe sometime around 8:18 p.m. perhaps for Trevor as well in Cape Town. But now it's going to be taken by the Sharks just outside of the 22. Jaden Hendrickson fires it back. Maria slow now. Run hard at the line. They've dropped the ball again here, the Sharks. Hanley here is not ideal for them at this stage. Now it's going to be a counter attack. It's going to be Duan van der Merwe, who has got this ball just out from his own line. Josh Adams once again running down the wing, offloaded on the inside, fired back nicely. Elliot Daly, he's going to be a quick man. McCool, Boschke's going to be able to catch a watch out. Oh, nailed there. He was trying to shunt off. Oh, that was a hit and a half there. That was beautiful stuff there from the Sharks. It was pretty much Elliot Daly was fending off the player who I believe it was Kerwin Bosch. He was almost able to chase him down, and then Werner Koch just nailed him in the ribcage from the other side. Now it's going to be Cowan Dickey there on the outside. Sam Simmons trying to link up, but it sounds like it has gone back for the player leaving his feet there. Amazing commentary. Thanks, Kiwi lads, as well. Says Margaret, thank you very much for tuning in as well. I do appreciate you all being here. for this live stream. Blacktown, New South Wales, Australia, 4:20 a.m. at the moment. So yeah, it is the middle of the night there. Indeed, bro, if Daly got through, I would have laughed so hard as well. Says BDG. Tell you what, that was a hit and a half from Werner Koch. It's one of those ones, the hardest hits are the ones you don't see coming. That one would have tickled the ribs there of Elliot Daly. But then it was the player leaving his feet. I believe it was Werner Koch who did end up getting penalised here. Oh, okay, we've actually got something happening now. Is Werner Koch going to get a yellow card here? What's this for? Oh, okay. So he is going to have a yellow card for Werner Koch there. They have said that him trying to get the ball there was cynical for him falling over the front. So he has got the yellow card there. It was a great hit originally from Werner Koch. But then from there, he ended up trying to get that ball. And then he he just fell over the ball. Unfortunately, did slow it down, which does lead to the yellow card. So Werner Koch now means that, unfortunately for the Sharks, they're going to be down to 14 men for possibly the next 10 minutes. He is saying sorry to everyone at the moment. Werner Koch is very disappointed, and we obviously got to see there are two Western Province players in this match as well. Says that BDG and Western Province players always get bought. Says BDG as well, but now they have kicked this one for the corner of the British and Irish Lions. Owen Barrell they are showing at the moment. What can he do? Who wasn't originally in the starting lineup or reserves. It was originally going to be Dan Bigger, but because of the COVID cases, I just think that they decided to really have a good reshuffle here. And that is why you have got Farrell at 10, also at 9. Was going to be Gareth Davis, but instead it is going to be Ali Price, Duan van der Merwe on one wing, Lewis Rees-Zammit on the other. And also the other change is going to be Josh Adams at number 15. He has already scored himself a try, and this is going to be another one here for the British and Irish Lions. Going to be extremely hard to defend. They've gone over the line, and that is going to be the try. Or is it? Was Cowan Dickey able to score it? That's a big question. Was the rolling ball? It was looking dangerous for them as well. No Farrell. It's 12, not 10. As well says BDG. Who have they actually, or he hasn't got a number on the back. And if you're going off the numbers at the back, it is actually Lewis Rees-Zammit who has got number 10 on his back, which is an interesting one. But I believe he is playing fly half, if I'm not wrong, in this match, because they have got Bundy Arki out there, who is in that inside centre role as well. Money talks all about the money as well, says Carl Peterson. And these South Africa teams must watch and learn. These guys are going to play in the Pro 16, says David Russell. I'm excited for that competition as well. Hopefully, I will be able to do many of those games, because they should be very exciting ones indeed. But at this stage now, Cowan Dickey trying to go for that rolling ball. The TMO is going upstairs. Where is this ball at the moment? He falls on his back. He's got the ball in hand at the moment. He's still got it. He's still got it. Is that ball down? It's an awkward one. It's kind of a very awkward. He's kind of put it down. He's over the try line, but he couldn't quite bend the arm or the wrist in a way that he was able to put the ball down, unfortunately for him. So it is a clear knock on, and it is now going to be the scrum feed for the Sharks. Save there, luckily, by the handling of Cowan Dickey. 20 minutes into this match as well for anyone who is just tuning in. 14-0 to the British and Irish Lions. The two tries so far. The first one scored by Josh Adams, man who was able to get 4 tries in the last match up against the Sigma Lions. And then also you have got the try of Duan van der Merwe in the 6th minute as well. A very entertaining player to watch. And they've also got Rees-Zammit out on that other wing. So that is pace to burn on either side. Josh Adams at the back and not God as well, says BDG. And our full South Africa will be better than the Sharks as well, says BDG. And also we have got, you said Western Province players get bought out. I said money talks, they leave because of the money and playtime, of course, as well. But now it's going to be a scrum feed for the British and Irish Lions, or sorry, for the Sharks. 5 metres out from their line, but the first scrum went the way of the British and Irish Lions. So they need to make sure the front row's gone down. It's going to be a scrum reset here, and they are asking the question there. The Sharks asking whether or not that should have been a penalty. Machunu on this far side or near side for this camera. Vunapola up against them, but now they are going to be moving because of the ground underneath them. Of course, the stadium at Ellis Park in Johannesburg, it's going to get a lot of play time, possibly over the next few weeks. Also at Cape Town Stadium, I believe, is another option that they are looking into in that regard. But I will mention, if you are new to the channel as well, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. We are extremely close. So if you do want to help us out, please do. It is hugely appreciated, and it does help the channel out big time. We are sitting currently on 2,973. We are 27 away. That is going to be the free kick for the Sharks there. for the front rows collapsing. And there is a bit of push and shove once again. There is a lot of passion being shown out on that field. Vunipola looking annoyed at this stage. Once again, the push and shove is in full effect. A man in there amongst the forwards was Owen Farrell. He will be well and truly fired up in this game as well. Khaleesi left the Sharks because the owner of the Sharks always supported Khaleesi, as well, says BDG. But now they are going to be kicking this one for touch, and it's going to be Kerwin Bosch who is going to be kicking it downfield. They are talking about the injury of Andrews, and that was Van Heerden, who has came, it was Reniel Hiku, who has made his way out onto the field. A man who got a hat-trick in a very short amount of time. It was actually one of the first Rainbow Cup games that I did watch. It was a very entertaining one indeed. And yeah, we will have to wait and see whether or not it will be the case in this game as well. I think it will be tough for him to be able to get a hat-trick in this one. But if he does, it would be, like I mentioned, very impressive. But it is going to be Fez Mbata now, who will be throwing this one in on the halfway line for the Sharks. Almost stolen by Curry, but it is taken nicely by the Sharks. Now it's another loose ball for them. And now it's going to be Navidi, who has been able to steal it. It has become a rolling maul. And it's a little knock-on advantage there against the Sharks. So because of it now, it could almost lead to a penalty. No, it is now going to be going back to Owen Farrell, kicking it in behind, looking for the touchline. And it is going to be sitting up almost for Reece Zammit. Little knock-on, though. And now it means that it is going to turn into a penalty for not releasing for the Sharks just inside of the 22. And now they will be kicking this one downfield, I would think, at this stage for the Sharks, trying to get out of their own 22, out of their own half. It's been a little while since they have been able to do so, but currently 23 and a half minutes through this match. I could get you to 1 million, as well, says BDG, for he has 1 million accounts as well. And we have got, hey, mate, as well, from James Gordon. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Early morning start here in New Zealand, 6:30 a.m. at the moment. Going to be interesting to see what time this game is going to be ending. And I think this is one of the later games that we have got for the British and Irish Lions tour. Originally, this game was moved forward an hour to accommodate for the Euros, but then it has been moved back because of those COVID cases as well. So it is a big shame in that regard because of the fact that, unfortunately, it could be the case of many more to come in the COVID cases for this tour. But we'll have to wait and see it at the moment on the halfway line for the Sharks. Claimed by Hiku. Goes back now into the hands of Bosch. Flat ball to Bolly now, who is going to be getting held up by Navidi and also Farrell now. It's been caught a maul very quickly, and at this stage, the British and Irish Lions have been able to keep that ball in that maul, and it is now going to be a scrum for the British and Irish Lions. At this stage, they are just going absolutely crazy in terms of that passion that they're showing out on the field, the British and Irish Lions. So just any time the player runs just a little bit too high, it gets held up into that maul, and then from there, unfortunately, ends up just going the way of the British and Irish Lions. I have scored at 9 a.m. as well, says James Gordon, and has to suck as well, says BDG. Yeah, I guess it is a school night. That's the thing with these late night games. The likes of Wallabies versus France and also this game, they're on in the middle of the night, which does make it very rough in terms of that timing. Yeah, definitely because of the fact that it is an interesting week in terms of whether or not all of the games are going to be taking place this weekend. The game that has been already called off or postponed is the British and Irish Lions versus the Bulls, and also Georgia versus the Springboks has been completely cancelled. Unfortunately, we've also got, it's my Fijian friend's last day today, but I have his messenger as well, says James Gordon. Whereabouts is he going? Is he going back to Fiji or is he going somewhere else? James, do let me know, but that one has gone down on the front row. It is a double blow of the whistle, and now it's going to be another scrum reset. We have also got, I just found out that Bruce Lee has a vegetarian brother, Broccoli, as well, says Betty. I guess that is one that I've just learned as well. I feel like I was reading it and then it was right when you read it. You know, when you're kind of reading something and you're not really picking up on it, and then right at that moment, you then realize I got about halfway through Brocco and then had that realization. We've also got, not going to lie, Lions are playing beautifully. As I said, BDG, yeah, they're going pretty well at this stage. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they can get more points than they did up against the Sigma Lions, because it's one of those ones that if they can do so, it's going to be a hard game for the Sharks. Indeed, that one is scrummaging all over the place. They've got the advantage as well. Now the Sharks are going to be Sam Simmons off the back of the scrum. Straight on the ball was Hendricks up on the halfway line. They have got the advantage. It's going to be Farrell. Little kick him on there from Owen Farrell, looking for the territory game. It's going to be Duan van der Merwe. Little grubber forward, and he's taking it. Duan van der Merwe. And he is going to be scoring his second try of this match now. And Duan van der Merwe adds to the tries of the British and Irish Lions. 27 minutes into this game, and they have already scored 3 at this stage. We will add that one on. It was a beautiful kick of mine by Owen Farrell. Then from there, Duan Funamurva, he's got pace, he's got power. And he was just able to use every inch of that pace, outrunning Mani Labok. And then from there, little grubber forward, which was well done because of the fact that he could have easily ended up grubbering that one just a little bit too far, but he did just get it nicely in terms of the distance. Only grubbered it a couple meters. That was all he needed. And then from there, jumped on the ball, puts it down, and he scores a try to Duan Funamurva, giving the British and Irish Lions now a little bit more of a lead in this matchup. At this stage, it's going to be interesting to see if he can get his hat-trick. We did ask at the start of this live stream whether or not anyone was going to be able to get 2 or more tries. At this stage, if you did say Duan Funamurva, you are 100% correct. Owen Farrell now with this kick from close to the sideline. Currently sitting series kicks 10 from 10, 100%, which is exactly why he is going to be missing this kick, because commentator's curse is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. Owen Farrell lining this one up from the touchline. It is a difficult kick for him. But 28 minutes into this game, he would love to be putting it straight down the middle. He has taken his time with it as well. And that's the thing. The Sharks are still down to 14 men for another 2 minutes at this stage. Farrell kicks it. And he has... Yep, he did miss it, unfortunately. Kirsten, big time there. 19 likes, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new as well. Says Peter, you heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel. At the moment, we're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. We are getting extremely close. We are only 26 away. So if you want to help us out, please do. It is hugely appreciated. We've also got why did the corn leave his field and cross the road? He was confused. As well, says BDG. That one has gone out on the full, unfortunately, for the Sharks, and now it's going to be a restart from the halfway line. Vernicock warming up at the moment. He was penalised and yellow carded, unfortunately, for his side. He was going decently down that wing, Vernicock, as well, when he was out on the field, but unfortunately for him, just ended up diving over that ball, slowing it down, which should lead to the yellow card as well. Brother Farrell looks at the polls as well, says BDG. But tell you what, Mako Vunipola, he is looking like he is determined in the scrum. He has got his hands full up against Katha Machunu, which is going to be an interesting contest as this match continues. We've also got a few men off the bench, which will be exciting the British and Irish Lions. The likes of having Tyke Furlong, I feel like he is one to be looking out for. We have also got in there, thanks for the commentary, listening in from Harare, Zimbabwe as well. That is from Tariro. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. Do let me know if I do get it wrong. Give me a shout out, please, as well, says Tariro. And big shout out to you as well, mate, for watching the videos. That's going to be a penalty to the Sharks there, winning the penalty against the feed. A little bit of push and shove once again. Quincy Mona giving it to the man in the number 3 jersey, Xander Ferguson. And at this stage, it seems like there is a lot of passion going on out on that field. And we will have to wait and see whether or not the Sharks will be able to get that 20 points that they need. Funny confused as well, says Peter. And also we have got Torero, don't ask for shout-outs. It is okay, though. I feel like I do end up giving you guys all shout-outs in the chat purely because of the fact that anytime you guys write a message, I do try and read out the name at the same time just to show my appreciation. Because at the end of the day, like, you guys making comments on the live streams is just what makes it that much more fun, because of the fact that we have got all of you guys here for these live streams, like, day in, day out. And it is pretty awesome indeed. Torero has said also perfect pronunciation. That one has gone to the front for the Sharks now. Going to be trying to get this British and Irish Lions side going backwards in a rolling maul. It isn't really working for them. They have been told to possibly use it once. Hendrickson now off the back, going into the hands of the number 12, Marius Lowe. Tackled hard by Bundy Aki, wrestling him to the ground. And now at this stage, a little bit of an awkward ruck for Bundy Aki as well, and truly fired up trying to get that ball. But now it's got, that's a big hit on the kneecaps there from Cowan Dickey. That's a late shot from Ferguson as well. Now it's going to be Buthelezi trying to drive forward. He has been tackled by Vunipola. Going short side now in the hands of the number 2, which in this one is Fez Mbata. Once again, going to the left-hand side. Bolly now going to be tackled at this stage. The Sharks just not really making too many meters, but they need to make sure that they can get some face play going. Quincy Morna actually got a bit of a limp here, which doesn't look too good for the man. Now it's going to be Hendrickson once again firing it back. Going to be Kerwin Bosch. Little offload on Marius Slows, put the ball down. And at this stage, the Sharks at times have been their own worst enemies. In this matchup is going to be kicked in behind by Ali Price. That is advantage over there. Is a huge amount of space. Duan Funamurva, that one's got into touch though. Only about 15 meters out from the line. Unfortunately for the Sharks, they have got their hands full in this game. I think the sideline ref is the fastest he has to keep up with something Oh, keep up to see if there's a knock on or something as well. Says BDG. That's the thing. A lot of players give credit to some of those quick, some of those quick wingers, but some of those referees fly down the wing like every single time there is a fast break. And it's one of those things that some of the refs are kind of deceptively quick. Like some of them don't look like it, but they can go pretty quickly indeed. But now they have got the scrum feed, the line out throw once again for the Sharks. Currently 32 minutes into this game. Going to the back there, claim nicely. And it's going to be now, Heku goes back now to Bolly running forward. Oh, he's hit hard in the tackle by Nifid. He fell into it though. So it is going to be a legal tackle there. It'll be Hendrickson now firing it back to Kerwin Bosch. And all he can do is kick it downfield into touch. And that is just from that pressure from the British and Irish Lions. Commentary is magnificent as well. Says BDG, thank you very much, mate. And I do appreciate that a lot. I think the British and Irish Lions will be too strong for the Box, as well as Terrero. And we will have to wait and see. Hopefully, the Springboks can find a game before we get into the match between them and the British and Irish Lions. The game against Georgia being cancelled, unfortunately. Also, the game next week, this weekend it is, for the Bulls up against the British and Irish Lions has been cancelled or postponed at this stage, but may be cancelled unless it is shifted a couple of weeks' time. At this stage now, the British and Irish Lions, Navidi with a little knock on. They are continuing, though. I thought that one left his hands there, but Elliot Daly now goes out to Tom Curry now down the wing. He is going to be trying to run over the top of Hendrickson, and he does so. Cowan Dickey now with the break. Goes into the hands of Ellie Price. Little bounce pass, almost working out. It's going to be an answer. Elliot Daly, no, it's not. It's Butalazy who claims it, and he is trying to fend off Henderson. Hit hard in the tackle, though, and he is driven down to the ground. It's a counter ruck or a counter attack once again. Wernercock lines up the boot, and he has kicked it down the middle of the field to Duan van der Merwe. Now going across field to Josh Adams. He's already scored one in this match. Oh, that was forward. And no, it is going to... Yes, they are going back for it. And Lewis Rees-Zammit not too happy about it, but it did travel forward in that one. This is being played at an extremely fast pace between these two guys. Thanks for the commentary. Listening in Botswana as well, says Johan. So thank you very much for tuning in as well, mate. Just drifting forward there for Josh Adams in that one. Lewis Rees-Zammit couldn't believe it at that stage, and we have got, I feel bad for the ref at the game with Josh Norton or Peter Baker as well. And Terrero, I disagree as well for the British and Irish Lions taking on the Box and being too strong. We'll have to wait and see. Going to be exciting to see who is going to be able to get the better of that 3-match series. We have just gone up 4 subscribers as well, so thank you all very much for hitting that subscribe button. It is awesome. We are only 22 away from hitting that 3,000. So maybe by the end of this live stream, we might be able to tick over there, which would be pretty awesome as well. Shania said commentary is awesome. Really enjoying it. Thanks as well. And that's one thing that I love doing is the factor of, for you guys who aren't able to watch the games, I feel like it is very hard to find something to watch live in terms of that's doing a commentary side of it, or that kind of gives you the feel of the game rather than watching the highlights after or just watching a scoreboard tick up. So that is kind of the goal with these live streams. My commentary, I try and work on it. I only started doing it probably around 8 months ago or so. So I am still working on it, but hopefully you guys are able to follow the game as I am watching out. Marnie LeBock now with the ball just outside of the 22, passes it out to Thacker Abrahams down the wing. He has stepped on the inside now. Thacker Abrahams, he's going through the middle. He's still going, but he is going to be dragged down by Duan van der Merwe now. And now it's going to be Hendrickson going out into the hands of Marius Lowe trying to break the line. Put a lazy knock on once again. And it does mean now it's going to be the British and Irish Lions who have got the scrum feed once again. And at this stage, the players looking a little bit fired up for the Sharks. It's just not quite working out for them in this match. Thacker Abrahams, though, he has got cat-like agility. I saw it in that match between them and the Western Province. He was somehow able to bounce back up to his feet, do a beautiful offload, and get a try for his side, or get an assist for that one. But then Marius Lowe trying to break the line. Cowan Dickey, little offload to Butalazy, but then he just wasn't quite able to hang on to it, unfortunately, there. We've also got in the chat as well, we have got in there just tuned in, but nice commentary so far. What time is it on the clock, says Joe Davies. At the moment, we are sitting at, I believe it is 36 minutes. Yeah, 36, almost up on the board at this stage. That is an injury at the moment for Marius Lowe, which doesn't look too flash. They have got a couple men on the bench. Possibly they'd go with Anthony Volmink if they had to for a replacement. Of course, they have already had one injury. They don't want another here in this match. The Sharks, I would love to see Zammit kick as well, says BDG, and your commentary is much appreciated, says David. And yeah, the support that you guys have been showing as well is also hugely appreciated. I think my cat is at the window, if I'm not wrong. You see, as he is looking in at me right Let's see if we can somehow let him in while also not ending up taking the headphones off. It is an awkward one, but he is now going to be inside. There we go. He was on my lap earlier on for the live stream, but now he has made his way up to the window. And at this stage, there is still a bit of attention for Marius Lowe there. We have also got in there as well. Does anyone know how to get lucid dreams? Says James Goodwin. I'm not actually sure what a lucid dream is, so I don't think I can help you out too much there. Unfortunately, DSTV, only rich can afford it here as well, says Trevor Flack. And I feel like that's another reason why I love doing these live streams, is because of the fact that I know that not everyone, either due to financial circumstances or due to being in certain areas of the world, can't actually access these games. So that is why I try my best, even though at the moment we're sitting at 6:41 a.m. in New Zealand, but I am absolutely loving these matches and just hanging out with you guys for a couple hours anytime that we do have a rugby live stream as well. But 36 minutes in, 19-0 to the British and Irish Lions at this stage. Only a few minutes left, just outside, of their own 22 here with the scrum beat. And we have also got cheers. Hopefully the Sharks can get a try before halftime, says Joe Davies. I hope so. I hope that they put up a good fight in the second half, but that is a good push there. All the front rows popping up, and it's going to be an advantage now for the British and Irish Lions, and it's going to be a penalty for the front rows going up. There's a bit of push and shove happening at the moment out there on the field. I feel like it's going to boil over very soon between these two sides, but Quincy Morner once again being penalised. Xander Ferguson at this stage, he has been keeping his hands full, that is for sure. Elliot Daly now on the left boot is going to be kicking this one for touch. Does find it as well. And now it is going to be the British and Irish Lions with the last attacking opportunity, perhaps, of this first half. Although the way that it's been going fast-paced, back and forwards, I feel like that won't be the case. I think we will still get to see maybe one or two more attacks from either side. We have Scott Khaleesi is in the bot camp as well, says Tarero. And also we have got, hopefully they put Khaleesi on. I would love to see Khaleesi get yeeted by the Lions. And we might get to see it in the test matches. It is going to be a 3-match series. He is going to be the captain, Sam Simmons, breaking the line here. He's got plenty of pace. Sam Simmons still going for the cock. What a tackle that is. And it was beautifully done by that man to slow down Sam Simmons, who was just a bulldozer when he gets that speed going. It is the British and Irish Lions just outside of the 22. Owen Farrell, cross kick as he got the weight right. It is going to be a little knock on from Lewis Rees-Salmon, I believe. And it has gone into touch. They are asking the question here, who did it come off? The touch judge, it is Wayne Barnes. He's trying to decide. I don't think he knows at this stage. I don't think anyone knows, but I think it is going to be the Sharks who have got this line-out throw only about 10 metres out from their own line here. And we've also got, what's the Lions back row playing like as well, says the Bullish. At this stage, they had it, the Bullish, sorry. I think I pronounced that wrong, but they've got a different one to what they originally announced. It was originally going to be Davis, Bigger, Van der Merwe, Aki, Daly, Watson, Williams. Instead for this match, they have gone with, it is Price, Farrell, Duan Van der Merwe still, Aki still, Daly, and then at number 14, it is actually Lewis Rees-Salmon, and then also at fullback, it is Josh Adams. But they have been looking quick. They have been looking too quick for the Sharks early on in this match. They have been struggling a little bit to be able to keep up with that pace. And Duan Van der Merwe already scoring 2 tries. Adams getting one as well. And Rees-Salmon hasn't been a mile off being able to get one as well. That one has been claimed there by the British and Irish Lions. In the end, they decided that it was of a Sharks player, which in that regard, wouldn't it have been a knock-on? No, sorry, never mind. That was a bad statement, but now it's going to be a rolling ball for the British and Irish Lions. It's gone down in the middle there. It's going to be Cowan Dickey breaking off the back. He is dragged down by Kuwan Bosch, only a couple metres short, and Bundyaki has been able to score the try for the British and Irish Lions once again. And that one, we are going to be adding that to the scoreboard, which now makes it 24-0 to the British and Irish Lions. 1 minute left in this first half as well. Depending on how long it takes for this kick to go over, we may even get to see one more play, but I think strategically they may just wear down the clock a little bit with less than a minute left. But Cowan Dickey, off the back of that rolling ball, decided to go for it. Then from there, dragged down, but Bundyaki, he is a hard man to stop, and he has just driven his way over the line for his first try of the series so far. And Bundyaki gets the lead a little bit more for the British and Irish Lions there as well. 30 like, smash that like button, guys, as well, says Birdie. And we have also got Partridge quite good as well, says BDG. And also the Lions should have been up by 30 points by now as well, says David David. Yeah, unfortunately for the Sharks, too many handling errors and too many penalties against them, unfortunately. That looked like for a second, the way that camera was, it looked like Owen Farrell was putting the ball on his boot to be able to kick it, but of course it is on a kicking tee, and he will be hoping to get this one. Unfortunately, missing the first kick that he has of the tour. It was because I jinxed him big time, said that he wouldn't be getting it, and that was the case. But now we will have to wait and see whether or not he will be getting this one. It's a little bit easier here for Owen Farrell, but he will still take his time with it. It's going to be after 40 minutes, so we will be going into halftime with either this kick going over or it slightly missing. We'll have to wait and see, but I will quickly write in halftime as well. I think he should be getting this one, Owen Farrell. Don't want to jinx him too badly, but he's on the 22, and he has got this kicking opportunity. He's got it straight down the middle, Owen Farrell, and that is the siren as well. So now the score is going to be 26-0 to the British and Irish Lions at halftime. We've got a whole heap of people in the chat as well, and I do thank you all very much for being here as well. Go Lions, says Big Man on the block, and also we have got in the chat as well, loose forwards, I think you call it as well. Back row, mate. 6, 7, 8. Not back line, but Jesus, says a bullish. Sorry. I feel like that is slightly my 6:45 a.m. brain, unfortunately. But in the back line, the back row, yeah, I end up getting those confused a little bit, unfortunately. I always end up calling them the loose forwards, which I feel like well and truly muddle my brain. But yeah, Sam Simmons been looking dangerous. I believe he has an assist for a try and also almost was able to score one himself. Navidi hasn't been too bad in that like rolling maul type situation. Anytime the Sharks player gets held up just a little bit too far, he has been able to hold him up and end up getting that penalty. And then Tom Curry's been a little bit quiet, but he also has had an impressive turnover only a couple meters out from the line when he did end up saving almost a certain try for the Sharks by being able to turn over that ball. But in this one at this stage, we'll have a quick look at the stats as well. So far, 52% possession for the British and Irish Lions, 53% territory as well, 4 tries to the 0. Meters carried, the Sharks have actually had more with 179 to the 175 of the British and Irish Lions. 16 defenders beaten for the British and Irish Lions to the 10 of the Sharks as well. Clean breaks 5-2 for the British and Irish Lions. And at this stage, tackles missed 67% at this stage for the Sharks is their tackling completion rate, 31 from 46, whereas for the British and Irish Lions, they are sitting at 43 tackles made from 53 with an 81% tackling completion rate. We have also got Shane Bigginson playing. Do you know why the lineup changed? COVID cases Joe as well says the bullish Partridge. Yeah, unfortunately, right, maybe about 10 hours before kickoff or so, or it may have even been a little bit less than that. They did end up in that situation of, unfortunately, COVID cases were found in the Springboks, not the Springboks, the British and Irish Lions camp. So it was one player, one management, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So they had to change the lineup at the last minute because this game was originally going to be taking place an hour before, but it did end up getting delayed a little bit for 1 hour. So a lot of people thought that this game was going to be cancelled, but it is still going ahead. But the game between the Bulls and the British and Irish Lions so far, it is going to be postponed. And the game between the Springboks and Georgia that was going to be happening on Friday night or Friday morning here in New Zealand has been completely cancelled, unfortunately. So the Springboks are going to be one game less heading into the test matches up against the British and Irish Lions. The Lions are in the Shark waters, and they are still dominating as well, says BDG. Although I guess it's one of those ones without a crowd as well, does make it slightly, only a little bit, but it is less of a home advantage because, of course, they would love to have those travelling fans or even any fans at this stage. But, yeah, the Sharks at this stage, they're going to have to do something big in the second half to try and find their way back into this match. In my match that I did play on Rugby Challenge 4, it was 28 to the British and Irish Lions, 21 to the Sharks. So that's going to be a big comeback if they are able to do that. But I don't think they will keep them tryless in the second half, the British and Irish Lions, that is. They are going to end up, unfortunately, I think the British and Irish Lions are going to score 2 or 3 more tries. And we have also got in there as well, Sharks need a new coach, as well, says Trevor Fleck. They also probably would love to be able to have those players that were playing in the Springbok side. Of course, they're missing the likes of Khaleesi. Also, who else can I think of? I feel like I should be able to name more, but Khaleesi is the only one that comes to mind, unfortunately, at this stage. How are you still awake? Says Crazy NZ. I think it is a little bit probably of it, I guess, adrenaline, I guess you could say. I end up just ending up rolling over pretty much, not literally, but metaphorically, like in terms of the fact that I watched that game between Australia and France. That finished at about midnight New Zealand time. Then from there, 6 hours worth of editing videos and just pretty much getting prepared for this live stream as well. And I was very hyped up for it indeed. I'm calling it 47-12 at full time, says BDG. That's not a mile off what the match between the Sigma Lions and British and Irish Lions was, if I'm not wrong, because a lot of people said that the Sharks weren't going to end up conceding as many points as the British and Irish Lions, but sorry, as many points. The Sharks weren't going to end up giving away as many points as the Sigma Lions did, was what I was trying to say there. I know I'm not rugby related, but since it's halftime Euro semi-final, England versus Denmark, who's taken it as well, says Torero. It's an interesting one because I haven't actually watched too much of the Euro, but I think in that situation, has the game already started? Are they already halfway through the first half? Because I think it was going to be starting at around the same time. In fact, almost the same kickoff time as this one, or maybe it was an hour later. If I'm not wrong, do let me know. And we have got Bloody Virus, I think 41-5 for this game as well, says Joe Davies. Although we did have someone in the chat earlier on that said if the Sharks could somehow get themselves to 20 points, they would end up, they said that they would donate a total of $200. So I am slightly in the back of my mind hoping the Sharks can somehow pull off like a miracle, and get themselves back above 20 points in this one. But they didn't help themselves in that first half. Unfortunately, not able to score any in that one. But at this stage, it's one of those ones they've dropped so many balls, the Sharks, and you've got to feel bad for them because the handling errors have just been letting them down big time. We've also got in there, I hope England as well, says BDG, and we also got the South Africa versus Georgia, 11 South Africans, South Africans, were positive, and 4 Georgians were positive. Yeah, see, in that situation, you've got to, I feel like that's a game that just can't take place because of that amount of numbers indeed. And whoever's got, I hope you're well. It's a shame for the Bulls game, but I'm glad this game is happening as well, says 11J said. Yeah, it's one of those ones that right up till the final moments before kickoff, people were still on the fence at whether or not this game would be taking place. And in the end, it has managed to end up getting going. And hopefully we will continue to see a few more games of this tour in the future. But it's getting to that stage now, depending on how many tries are scored, or not tries, how many games are cancelled. It's going to be hard to see. And we also got, you better hope they do get 20 points. If they do, I'll be $200 for it as well, says BDG. See, that's the thing. I hope they get 20 points, but then I also feel bad if they do end up getting it because of the fact that it would be that $200 indeed. And we have also got Sigma Lions lost 56-14, says BDG as well. Sharks are their own worst enemy. 2 chances to kick to the post, 0 taken as well, says Unduna. Hopefully I've pronounced that one correctly. But yeah, at this stage, it's a tough one for them. They've had to go aggressively because the British and Irish Lions, they're scoring a lot of tries. So you've got to go for that corner, but they just haven't quite been able to get that rolling ball going. And any time they have been able to put a few phases together, unfortunately, they just end up dropping that ball as well, 38-17. As well, said Mark Jones for the prediction. And hey, Hamish, last night you mentioned George was starting a reaction channel, says David. We actually do have the channel up and running at the moment. I will quickly get the link for it. There is only the one video on it at this stage, but it is still very new. So do bear with us a little bit there. I am quickly going to write it in. Maybe it's just the one video. I'm not sure whether he has done another video yet. It's actually got 91 views, which is probably relatively impressive for a first video indeed. But what we will do is we will go onto the channel dashboard and I will put it into the chat and have it as the pinned comment so you guys can check it out if you are keen to watch a little bit of reacts. Our first video that we did on that channel was reacting to Richie Mo'unga going God mode, I believe it was. But yeah, at this stage, I will put this one into the chat as well. Reacts channel. There we go. Right. That is going to be the pinned comment. So if you guys do want to check it out, please feel free to. It does help us out a lot. And George has been editing pedantically on that one as well. So far to try and get it going. Could Stormers versus Bulls swap days? They play the Lions, so maybe Stormers can play this weekend and the Bulls in a couple of weeks instead, says 11J. See, that's the thing. Maybe they will have to look at doing something along those lines, trying to reshuffle the games, unless, of course, they just try and find a slot that does kind of squeeze it in as maybe, I don't know, it's a hard one because it puts more pressure on the British and Irish Lions. Definitely if they've got a few players who are going to be out of the question as well. So it's going to be a difficult one to be able to kind of rearrange and see how we are going to be able to get through this tour. And yeah, it's going to be a tough one for the people who are in charge indeed. And I hope I do bet correctly to 12:47 as well. And England versus Denmark kicks off in 7 minutes. Okay. So it is a 7 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. And we have also got in the chat from Jasper, I'm not too sure what that says, but it does say Canada at the end. So I'm not too sure what the rest of it is, but I'm not sure whether it would be something to do with Canada, maybe with the fact that they are going to be playing the English side, I believe, this weekend for the rugby as well. My favorite overseas team is the Crusaders. A lot of people do enjoy watching them. That is or enjoy watching them, I should say. They are a very solid team, although they didn't make it to the final this year. So they will be hoping that they can do more in the future as well. We have also got there 11. What team do you support? As well said BDG, that was to 11J7. Nonetheless, we are getting close to the second half, getting back underway in this match between the British and Irish Lions and the Sharks. At this stage, more possession for the British and Irish Lions, 52% of that first half. And then also 53% territory. 4 tries scored. They were scored by Josh Adams in the 3rd minute. Duan van der Merwe was able to score in the 6th and the 27th. And then Buddy Aki right at the end of that first half. At this stage, they have not been able to score once, the Sharks, but they will be hoping to change that in the second half. It means he is listening the commentary in Canada as well. So thank you very much for tuning in, Jasper. Much appreciated, mate. And we have also got anyone using Superbrew. Great app for predicting scores. See, that's the thing. That is one thing I feel like I want to get better at, and that is predicting scores, because I am terrible at that in that regard. I think in this one, I said that the British and Irish Lions were going to win by 17, I think was my guess. So at this stage, the Sharks are going to help me out a little bit there. And let's go Crusaders, my favourite NZ team, and then the Hurricanes as well, says 11J said. And, I'm looking forward to next year when we do get to see Super Rugby with Moana Pacifica and also Fiji Drua. But then another competition to look forward to is going to be the Pro 14 joining up with those Rainbow Cup South Africa or the South African Super Rugby sides and joining together to form the United Rugby Championship to see how those are going to go. I also like the Blues. They play good as well, says BDG, and I think Ioane should go to a different team as well, says BDG. Who would you send him to in that regard? And is that Rico Ioane or Akira Ioane? Do let me know. But both of them probably will have a spot in that starting lineup or reserves for the All Blacks in their upcoming match that is going to be taking place in only a couple days' time. That is up against Fiji, and we will be doing a live stream for that one as well as Samoa versus it will be Tonga in the Rugby World Cup qualifiers. And they should also be a very entertaining couple games to be able to watch as well. And nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. I do appreciate you all being here for this live stream. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because at this stage we are getting extremely close to hitting 3,000 subscribers. We may be able to do it on this live stream, although at this stage we are sitting 20 away. So maybe a little bit too tough, but I think we will be getting there before the end of the weekend here. As well, we have also got in there Noriko. He will be better, or he will play better in the Hurricanes as well, says BDG. Oh, that would be an interesting one to have Rico Ioane in that center role as well. Are you getting paid for YouTube now? I get ads on your videos as well, says Jake. We do have monetization turned on the channel, which is pretty awesome because of the fact that we were somehow, like, at the end of 2020, we expected to have 100 subscribers or so, and we actually had closer to 1,000, which was pretty awesome. Your guest on this morning was awesome. Typical Aussie, had no problem using colourful language, as well, says David. That is BKR Sport. That's actually the first time I have collaborated with him as well, which was pretty awesome. And he has actually, we've got a couple ideas. We may even be looking at doing some sort of rugby podcast, if that is something you guys are keen to see in the future, which maybe that will end up being a regular occurring thing as well. But at this stage, we are just waiting for the second half to get underway, I should say, for this match. A change in the back line for the British and Irish Lions. It was originally going to be Davis, Bigger, van der Merwe, Aki, Daly, Watson, and Williams. Instead, did end up getting changed into the situation of being Price, Farrell, van der Merwe, Aki, Daly, and then it was Reece Samet and also Josh Adams. As well, Rico outside Laumape would be immense as well, says Joe Davies. And that's the thing. Like, New Zealand have lost a very good player in Laumape because of the fact that he has decided to head to France, which is unfortunate for us. But we have also got a few young centres, the likes of, I feel like if they lost Rico Ioane as well, they would be in trouble a little bit in those centre jerseys. But we have also got on there as well. Good evening, lads from Wales as well, says Graham. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. And you'll be very happy at this stage with the amount of Welsh tries that we have seen in the British and Irish Lions tour. We've seen already Josh Adams. He has been able to score 5 in his last 2 matches, and maybe he will continue doing so in this match in the second half, depending on how many subs that they have made. We have also got Factor Junior Springboks hold their nerve to win under 20 series final 27-9. They played Argentina as well, says BTV. And that's one thing that I am slightly disappointed about, is the fact that we haven't got any of those games for under 20s rugby here on Sky or anything in New Zealand. which does make it very annoying because I feel like those are very entertaining games to watch as well. But speaking of an entertaining game, this second half could be very entertaining, and we are only moments away. They are showing Josh Adams, a try-scoring machine. They are also showing a couple of the Sharks players, Marnie Labok. Can he get his name on that score sheet? We will have to wait and see. Tell you what, Poirier versus McGregor is being advertised. That's going to be a big fight as well. The trilogy between those two. I'm thinking about maybe doing a live stream for that as well, but we will have to wait and see. The problem is I used to have UFC Fight Pass, but now I do not. So it would end up in that situation of it is a relatively expensive one for a pay-per-view. So I will have to wait and see whether or not I do decide to do a live stream in that regard. But if that is something you guys are keen to see, do let me know. We also got the Great Britain flag from Big Man on the block as well. Jaco Piper is just getting his microphone adjusted at the moment, trying to get him into a decent situation of being able to hear him out on the field. They are showing Budulezi. He was relatively quiet in that first half compared to what I thought he would be. But Jaco Piper there just having a bit of a laugh with the man doing the adjusting of his microphone, running back out onto the field now. The Kiwi Lads is becoming very popular now. Yeah, some cool guests, the Rugby Guru being one as well, says David David. Yeah, that's the thing. We haven't really done too many collabs, but then over the last kind of week or two, we've really been branching out. Like we've had BKR Sport now. We've had the Rugby Guru. He has been one that we've been having on the channel since the start. And now we've also got Rugby Itch, which is an up-and-coming channel as well. We've actually got a video where we try and predict the All Blacks starting lineup and reserves. That is going to be coming out very soon as well in the video there, claiming that one off the kickoff after a little bit of a bounce, but it was a knock-on from the British and Irish Lions. I will change it so that it doesn't say halftime anymore as well. And we will go like that. There we go. Oh, we are good to go. And Joe Davies has said maybe you can have 2 cents on. I would love to. I feel like it would be one of those ones that hopefully he would want to come on the channel, although we are quite a bit smaller than his size. So we will have to wait and see whether or not he would want to. But he is definitely someone I'd love to be able to have on the channel as well. Him and also, I think Gareth Mason would be cool to have on the channel. And I think that kind of covers most of the rugby channels out there that are posting regular kind of Southern Hemisphere rugby content as well. Adam scored for the Lions versus Japan too. So he's 6 tries in 3 games. Man's on fire. He is indeed. So happening. And at this stage, an advantage to the Sharks. What are they going to be able to get going here? Marnie Labok now at the back line. Oh, Elliot Daly. Beautiful low tackle there, but they're going back for the penalty now. And at this stage, the Sharks, they just need to find their way over the try line a couple of times and see if they can somehow find some momentum in this match. Every time they look like they've got a little bit of a chance, they end up either having that handling error or ending up getting shut down as well. It's a tough one for them, unfortunately, but they need to be able to find that winning combination. And at this stage, that's the thing. All of the matches this today that we've had so far, Wallabies versus France ended in the final minute with the Wallabies scoring the final points. Then Griquas versus Western Province, final minute game once again with the Griquas scoring the try. That is a good kick downfield from Kerwin Bosch right on the 22 now for this line-out. And then this game, surely it's not going to be breaking the pattern. Gareth Mason is like a superstar, says David David. He is indeed. He has been doing it for a long time on YouTube as well. So he is another one that I would love to be able to have on the channel. I think he was possibly live for this game as well, if I'm not wrong. But Vunapola there, the line-out has gone wrong for the Sharks once again. Unfortunately, Junior Springboks hold their nerve to win under-20 series final 27-9 as well, says Birdie. But yeah, I think there was supposed to be a game between the New Zealand under-20s and the Australian under-20s, if I'm not wrong. But unfortunately didn't end up taking place, or something has ended up that maybe they decided not to show it all. It was Abraham rushing up there through the legs there, and now it's going to be Farrell kicking that one downfield, looking for touch or looking for a bit of space. He has found it as well, and it's going to be Marnie Labok. Huge amount of pressure on that man. Only a few meters out from his own line, but he is running sideways at the moment, linking up with Werner Koch. And now he's going to back his pace a little bit, getting himself back out to the 22, breaking a couple tackles as well. Werner Koch, he is a hard man to put down on the ground there, but Bundyaki has been told to leave that one, unfortunately, falling off his feet there. 43 minutes into this match at the moment. Kerwin Bosch with a little chip in behind is going to be almost taken by Marius Lowe, but it's a penalty there, unfortunately, for Marius Lowe taken out on Farrell. We have also got, as well says Betty, no worries. Mate, at all, we have also got evening from West Wales, Hamish. Listen to you regularly. Thanks for the commentary, mate, as well, says Michael Jensen. And thank you Jenkins, sorry. And I do thank you very much for tuning in, mate. It is pretty awesome that we have been slowly building up our Northern Hemisphere audience. It's one of those ones that originally when we did the likes of the Six Nations, I don't think we even had like a single viewer from the Northern Hemisphere. So to now have a few of you guys who do tune in regularly, it just seems pretty awesome indeed. And yeah, I do thank you all very much for being here. And I am looking forward. I feel like I'm going to be covering the United Rugby Championship. So that will be a good one to learn a lot more players from the Northern Hemisphere, as well as seeing these South African guys in action as well. That's been claimed nicely now. It's going to be off the back. Vunipola looking for a little offload. No one there, but Price has been able to claim that one now. Currently inside of the 22 of the Sharks now. The British and Irish Lions once again going to be pouring on the pressure. Cowan Dickey is going to be dragged down. Little offload to Navidi now. Passing out the back line going to be the captain Henderson, who did have a standing start. Wasn't able to get too much momentum there. The Sharks trying to counter-ruck. Not working for them there. Now it's going to be Davis. Goes back to Cowan Dickey, who is driven down to the ground. Davis once again going out to the left-hand side. Farrell goes back to Daly. Wasn't quite able to link up with Fundermerva on the outside. And at the stage on the 22, goes to Vunipola. Back now to Farrell. Goes now to Ferguson, but it is going to be a little bit of obstruction. I believe it is. So now it is going to be a penalty to the Sharks. Lucky for them there. We have also got Mako Vunipola here in the chat. Welcome in, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. And of course, Mako Vunipola is actually starting this match. Now, something I'll mention as well, which I feel like you will enjoy, is the fact that on my rugby challenge video that I did, it got cut out, but I actually ended up calling Mako Vunipola Bear in that video. But it is one of those ones that now it almost rolls off the tongue in the wrong regard as well. We have also got, speaking of the guru, poor guy must have a shattered heart after the first half as well, says Sebastian. Although it's one of those ones, unfortunately, every time we do like a post-match review or anything during like the Curry Cup or the Rainbow Cup South Africa, it's always after the Sharks lose, unfortunately. So he has had that feeling a few times. But yeah, this must be hard to watch in terms of those handling errors. Must make it very frustrating indeed. We have also got in the chat as well. That's because we thought Toy Southern Lads hated us as well. Says Graham Knox as well. See, that's the thing as well. I've said as well about 7 times just in that sentence. Few subs being made for the Sharks at this stage, but it's one of those ones. I love watching all rugby. Like, I feel like it's one of those ones. I haven't got that rivalry with like the Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere that a lot of guys do have, kind of thing. Like, I know a lot of people are passionate about just not liking Northern Hemisphere rugby. I love watching both of them, and I feel like it's one of those ones that because I watch games from like a neutral perspective, I feel like I enjoy them even more. But yeah, I enjoy watching those guys. I enjoy watching the Six Nations. Was getting up for a few of those games in the middle of the night, and I would say that they were 100% worth it. But now the Sharks trying to go for this rolling maul. If they can score now, they aren't completely out of this match, but they are going to have to work hard. It's going to be Kerwin Bosch now. That one was charged down by Navidi, who has been relatively busy so far at the start of the second half. Bundy Aki's stolen that ball clean there, but Hendrickson trying to get straight back over the ball. Not able to. British and Irish Lions just too good in that breakdown. On Farrell sells the big dummy. It decides to put it on the boot instead. Money Labok lines it up now. Got Reece Samet lining him up. Out to Werner Koch once again. Can he pierce the gap now? Werner Koch. He will run hard at the line every day of the week. He has already had a yellow card though, so he's got to be slightly careful was the word I was looking for. I'm not sure what I was trying to say there, but I didn't want to come out. But now Hendricks fires it back now into the hands of Kerwin Bosch, and he has kicked that one very high. It's close to the touchline. Vandermeer taking it nicely now. Pass across field to Farrell. Going to be returning the kick. Looking for a bit of territory. Kick down the field. Taken nicely by Mani Labok. This is a good opportunity now for the Sharks to get the counter attack going right up the middle. Mani Labok, but at the kneecap taken out by Tom Curry there. Ball is going to be, it's a penalty to the British and Irish Lions once again. And at this stage, how many penalties is that against the Sharks at this stage? But let's go. I will cheers. Have a good one, Bertie. Machu and Hamish as well. And yeah, good luck with your work. Hopefully, you will be able to get it all done in a speedy time indeed. And we have also got in there. I'm off to work now. Yeah, the boys as well. And Lions have another 24 points in them, Kiwi lads, as well, says Machu. And also we have got, how's it, brother? Cheers and also enjoy. And we have got, I doubt Sharks will get a single try, says BDG. I might have to change to a lower number, but just for the Sharks to be able to get a try. So not the 200, of course, for a Sharks try. Although at this stage, it's probably paying like that in terms of on the betting sites because they just haven't been able to get through here, the Sharks. Unfortunately for them, we have also got there in the chat as well. Well, you can't judge this. Isn't the main Sharks team. 9 of the Sharks are part of the Springboks as well. That is a good point. They are missing their Springboks players. The likes of Khaleesi. He's the only one that I can think of, but there are also the likes of Abelele Fassi. Here's a brilliant player. Now it's going to be in the hands of Ali Price. Bundy Aki taken down. He has got up and gone again. I thought he was out though, but now he is going to be firing it back. Tom Curry with a little knock on, and now it's going to be Marius Slow trying to drive forward, but he has been tackled once again now. And now they're going for a bit of a counter-ruck here. The British and Irish Lions not quite able to, though. Goes back to Hendricks there. Little charge down on Kerwin Bosch's kick. Now it's going to be Werner Koch. Little offload to Mani Labok at this stage. They're just trying to get out from their own 5-metre line. It's not really working out for them, but now it is in the hands of, I believe it was James Fenter, who was trying to just drive himself forward just a little bit more. They were all offside there. The British and Irish Lions, I believe. But that one has been kicked downfield by Kerwin Bosch, taken nicely there. And it is going to be the opportunity for the returning run from, it is going to be Josh Jennings, who has been tackled there by Buthelezi, 40 metres out from the Sharks line now. And the British and Irish Lions, they look like they aren't finished scoring in this one. Going short side now to Sam Simmons. And you've got to tie that man's legs up, or else he will well and truly keep on going. James Fenter there, almost able to seal the ball for the Sharks, not quite able to now. Now it is going to be in the hands of Cowan Dickey, driven down by, it was the replacement here. Cool little sell in the dummy. Now it's going to be stolen there. And now it's an opportunity for the Sharks. Flat ball to Kerwin Bosch. Very flat ball it was. But now it's going to be Reece in the ball backwards. And Reece has been able to clean up. He's got number 10 on his back. And that is straight on the ball there. Almost Jeremy Ward able to get it. And he has frustrated Jeremy Ward, wondering how that was not a penalty to him there. They've been told to use it now. It's going to be Ferguson, who is going to be driving forward just a little bit, creating that angle. We'll read the chat in a very short moment, but at this stage, they don't seem to be having too many stoppages in play. It's going to be Ali Price now with this ball. He has kicked this one down the middle of the field, just to the halfway line now. It's going to be Marius Slow running sideways, trying to do a bit of a step there. He has been tackled low by Cowan Dickey. He gets back up 40 metres out at the moment of the Sharks. It's going to be in the hands of Bully, who is getting held up there, being able to put the ball on the ground. Hendricks are going across into the hands of Buthelezi, hit hard in the tackle by Farrell. There is a lot of physicality going on in this game, and I don't think we will expect anything different. I should say. Werner Koch with a little offload to Mani Labok, inside ball available. It's going to be Marius Slow linking up now. James Fenter down the wing, and it's going to be the try for the Sharks. And that is going to be the first try of the match for the Sharks here. And it came from nowhere. I don't think anyone was expecting it as well. Sharks get one more yellow card. It's over as well, says BDG. It is indeed. I love watching as a neutral, but when Wales score, the neighbours know about it, says Joe. Is it Joe Davies or Davis? It might be Joe Davis if I'm not wrong, which I could be, but this was Mani Labok there. Not able to link up as soon as he would have liked to, I don't think, in that play, the Sharks. But then from there, James Fenter all the way to the try line. Oh, no, says BDG as well. He did say 12 points. I feel it's going to be interesting. The Sharks now finally getting some points on the board for them. It was James Fenter who was able to score it as well. We will add this one to the list here. Are they kicking something? No, it is going to be the kicking opportunity, is it? Or are they going upstairs? Yes, it is a try. I thought for a second they were going to try and take it away from them, and you would have felt very bad for them in that regard. But James Fenter able to score that try in the 50th minute. Kerwin Bosch now with an easy kick straight out in front. Should be kicking this one over, unless, of course, he absolutely shanks it, but he has got that one. So now the score is going to be 7 to the Sharks, 26 to the British and Irish Lions. Euros is 10 minutes gone as well. Says Doug Peel Skates. Do let us know if anyone does score a try. Oh, sorry, score a goal in that one as well, mate. And we have got in there, I'll make it 12 points, and I'll say it 200 as well, says BDG. And we have got under 26 nations, Wales, England, game on, 3-7 for England, and it is 9 minutes gone as well. Ooh, Sharks as well, says Gillian, about time Sharks. Says David, come on, Bosch. Kick like Elton Yankees as well. And we have got with the E, it's a Welsh version, Davis, generally the English version. So does that mean the number 9, who was normally, is it Gareth Davies or Gareth Davis? It would be, is it in that regard, it would be Davies? Not too sure maybe, but do let me know. I am keen to learn the pronunciations because I know that some of these South African names, I have finally been able to almost work out the pronunciations, but some of these Welsh names, and I feel like they're probably one of those ones, I guess you could call a dark horse in terms of my pronunciation. Sometimes I get them a little bit wrong, a few of these Northern Hemisphere ones. But yeah, hopefully I can get them right in the future as well. Hendrickson now passing it across field now. They've got the ball just outside of their own 22 here, the Sharks. And Jaden Hendrickson looking like he will be kicking this one possibly downfield. Oh, that's almost going to be stolen by the British and Irish Lions, but it is still going to be on the side of Hendrickson. And he does kick this one downfield, not allowed to find touch. Werner Koch, of course, is going to be in there trying to get that ball. It's going to be an answer. Bolly now, who is trying to shunt off the tackle of Adams. But they're up to the halfway line now. And at this stage, the Sharks starting to feel a little bit of momentum. It's a wide ball now. Little offload back, Mani Lebok now. Backline movement. It's going to be Buthelezi trying to break the tackle of Bundy Aki. But he has done well to drag him down there. Now it's going to be Hendrickson. Selling a bit of a dummy, looking for the offload. It's going to be in the hands of the big number 17, drops Tyke Furlong. That is something you don't see very often. That is for sure. That would have been Machunu who was able to do that. Now it's going back once again. I believe that would have been Van Heerden getting an opportunity as their hands on the ball. The ball is available for the Sharks now. Still just inside their own half. Buthelezi rush defence from Tyke Furlong. Good defence there from the British and Irish Lions, forcing them backwards. Looks like they're going to be going for the kick here. Kuan Bosch, no, it's going to be Marius Lowe. Sells a bit of a dummy, and he breaks the line. Marius Lowe, he is looking for the link-up play. Hasn't got anyone with him. Oh, he's almost tackled himself there, Marius Lowe. But now Hendricks, a little offload to Mani Lebok. Looking like they're back to a reset stage here. And I see Finn Russell is also out on the field, someone who wasn't originally on the bench for the British and Irish Lions. Also, there is another man out there, I believe, who wasn't going to be there originally, and that was Hamish Watson, but he hasn't made his way out onto the field yet. By the looks of it, Marius Lowe just taking contact with Sam Simmons there. And at this stage, it is phase after phase for the Sharks. They need to keep on playing the way that they are at the moment because it is working for them. They're playing aggressively. They're running hard with the ball in hand. It's going to be Kuan Bosch now trying to break the line, but he is going to be dragged down by the number 5, Josh Beard, I believe it is, if I'm not wrong. Adam Beard, sorry. He hasn't had too much game time or hasn't had too much to do in this match so far. It's going to be a little bit too high, and they have been told to release him there at this stage. The Sharks are up to 13 phases. What are they going to be able to do here? That's a big question. Bolly now bouncing off the tackle. 14 phases now for them. They've gone for the little kick in behind from Kuan Bosch, but a little bit too much on it though. And Josh Adams is going to be able to clear the lines of the British and Irish Lions. That is a good kick down to halfway now, relieving a bit of the pressure fired across field. Now it's going to be Werner Koch. He is going to be going for a little chip in behind, and he's going for the ball here. Werner Koch takes it beautifully. Little offload back, and it's going to be Van Heerden getting taken down only a few meters out. Oh, that's not allowed there. And unfortunately, Jaden Hendrickson just diving through the middle of the ruck. That was a huge mistake from the man. And Reece Zammit just lured him in big time in that regard. He stood next to the ruck, stepped back, and he just went straight through, unfortunately. We have also got there in the chat good commentary, mate. We are on lockdown. Sucks. New South Wales, Australia, says Peter as well. Yeah, that's a shame that now the travel bubble between New Zealand and Australia just keeps on getting shut down every once in a while, which is a bit of a shame because of the fact that, like, it would be quite nice to be able to see some big crowds with Kiwis there for those games that are going to be taking place for the Rugby Championship as well, that are coming up very soon. Hi, where's this game played? It is being played at Ellis Park in Johannesburg in South Africa, so that is why it is in the situation of being kind of interesting time to be played, with it being 7:20 a.m. here in New Zealand. We've also got loads of Davies in the Welsh squad, so best to know the first name too as well, says David, or Joe Davies, that is, and Davies with the E in that regard. So I feel like I was calling him Davis a couple times earlier on in my Rugby Challenge live stream, or not Rugby Challenge live stream, but the video that I did on that game. I wonder if the guy related to AJ Fenter, who played for the Sharks. He might be a brother, possibly, if I'm not wrong. Finn Russell, little chip behind, goes to Daly now. Beautifully taken by Elliot. Daly offloads back now. Ken Owens there. They have still got the advantage now for a little knock on. Sam Simmons goes back to Adams, to Duan van der Merwe down the wing. And he has tried to run straight through everyone, but he has been taken down in the end. Now it's going to be Ali Price. Goes back now into the hands of Russell. Little offload to Ken Owens. And at the stage now, straight on the ball, but he lost his feet. No, he didn't. He's stolen the ball now for the Sharks. No one wants it, though, and it's going to be Josh Adams. This is going to be brutal. If they, it's a little knock on. He's blown that one, Abraham. And it's a try to Josh Adams. What has he done there? That was not good at all for the Sharks there, that is for sure. We're going to have to add it back to the scoreboard now. Josh Adams scoring another try, almost gifted to him in that situation. Just didn't look like the Sharks had that ball under control. They were able to steal it in the breakdown. Then from there, grubbed forward by Josh Adams. And then the Abrahams, I think it was because he was only a couple meters out from the line. I don't know what happened. He kind of just ignored the ball, which I feel like is something that you can't really do, unfortunately. And because of it, it means that it is going to be the second try for Josh Adams in this match for the man. But Thiko Abrahams, I'm not sure what he was trying there, but Didn't work out for him. And Josh Adams able to score a second. They've got Stuart Hogg on the bench, so maybe they look to go to him very soon as well, because he has got a bloody mouth there at this stage for Josh Adams. We'll add that one. 57 minutes gone in this match so far. Finn Russell going to get to line up his first kick of this match as well. We'll be able to get it over. We've also got in there as well. I wonder if that guy, oh no, I read that one. And also we have got, I'm nervous, says BDG as well. I might make it 20 points again for $300, says BDG. So at this stage, yeah, I don't think they get into 20 in the last 23. So I feel like you're pretty safe in that regard. That one's gone over from Finn Russell. So now the score is going to be 33 to the British and Irish Lions and 7 to the Sharks. We're almost looking like they were going to try and make the comeback there, the Sharks, in terms of just getting a little bit more of their hands on the ball, but then Thicker Abrahams, unfortunately, just dropping that one. Adams with the pressure, and he was able to do so. Joe Davies or Davies the Milk or Davies the Coal or even Davies the Post as well, says Graham Knox. And also for 8 months of commentating, you are excellent and lively, and I love the accent. Well done as well, says David Russell. Thank you very much, mate. It is usually appreciated. Little knock on from the Sharks once again. Jaden Hendrickson is asking the question, what are we doing wrong here, boys? We just can't hang on to it to save ourselves, unfortunately. But yeah, it's one of those weird ones, because when we used to do videos, we started with the gaming videos, kind of gaming in terms of a little bit of rugby as well. But it was one of those ones that in those old videos, I used to say like 1 or 2 words through like a 10-minute video. And it was kind of one of the other Kiwi lads, George, who would be the more talkative one. But now I do live streams for like 2 or 3 hours straight and just continuously be able to talk. And I feel like it's a weird situation that I've like, it feels weird. I don't know how to say it. I've almost come so far in such a short time in terms of the commentating. So yeah, hopefully it does continue to improve for you guys as well, and you are able to learn exactly where we are on the field. That is a good counter ruck or counter scrum from the Sharks, but the ball does pop out the back there. And a little kick in behind once again for Finn Russell, looking for something majestic. Or Duan Funamurva, not able to take it, gone into touch. Marnie Lebok thinks about taking it quickly, but not quite able to there. And we have got hi from Brandon. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. Depends what is for breakfast, or what was for breakfast as well, says Joe Davies. And we have got, I think the British and Irish Lions are winning, and all the South Africa rugby teams, but lose 1 Springboks as well, says Henry Samuel. And we have got the Sharks coach after the game, pack your bags. And I assume that is F off, I would assume. And we've also got, was it Bundy Aki scored that last try? No, it was Josh Adams who was able to do so. He did a little kick in behind from the loose ball of the Sharks. And then from there, Thicker Abrahams trying to put the ball down, not quite able to. And then it did end up just bouncing beautifully for Josh Adams to be able to take there. Hendrickson there trying to call for the penalty, and because of it now it's going to be a counter-attack or counter-ruck from the Sharks here. And Werner Koch fired up at the moment, and he should be, because Ian Henderson is just hanging off his leg. This is getting to be a very ugly breakdown between these two sides. It looked like for a second it was just going to end up with both guys just standing up and starting swinging. But at this stage now, Buthelezi going to be driving forward on the halfway line at the moment for the Sharks. It is Kerwin Bosch, little kick in behind, trying to find the way through, but it's gone straight into the hands of Josh Adams. He is tackled hard by Thicker, but now it's going to be Reece Samet. No one's catching him, Lewis Reece Samet, because he is too fast. And he is going to score another try in this match, or his first try of this match, I should say, as well. And it was Lewis Reece Samet who was able to do it. We'll have to add that name to the list as well. And unfortunately for the Sharks, it's just going from bad to worse for them as well. He's too quick, Lewis Reece Samet. And unfortunately, Thicker Abrahams was lured in with that defense because he had to commit to the man on the inside. Then from there, Lewis Reece Samet, that was the only chance the Sharks had of stopping him, was that ankle tap attempt. But now it is going to be extending once again for the British and Irish Lions. And Lewis Reece Samet scoring in this match. Duan van der Merwe out on one wing, Josh Adams out on the other. The backs have been busy in this matchup so far. Josh Adams has been able to score 2, I should say. But now Finn Russell doing up the shoelaces. Going to be hoping to put this one straight down the middle as well. And it should be a nice, easy kick for him because of the fact that literally no one was catching Reece Samet by the time he was still putting the ball down behind the post. We've also got in the chat as well, I do hope Western Province Stormers or Bulls will be able to beat the Lions as well. My prediction is strong as well, says BDG. That's the thing. At this stage, who will be able to beat them? I feel like South Africa, I want to say, will be a little bit of a dark horse, but I'm not sure who they are going to have in their side. Bloody hell, this could be a 60-plus pointer at this rate as well, says Joe Davies. And that's the thing. It's weird. My prediction beforehand, I said it was either going to be a very close game with both sides scoring 20, or it was going to be a 60-plus points match. And that was 60-plus between the two sides. But at this stage, the way the British and Irish Lions are going, they could get 60-plus points by themselves at this stage. And we have got God help your neighbours as well, says Graham as well in that regard. And we have got Zamet might as well have kicked that as well, says BDG. I mean, he probably could have gone back, done the drop kicking and said, thanks very much for coming, and headed back to halfway. Now that the Springboks have cases of COVID-19, reminds me of that time that the All Blacks were poisoned back for the 95 World Cup final as well. It's one of those ones, like that game that they have lost up against Georgia, because of the fact that it's been cancelled, it's going to be one of those situations that extra game maybe could have been, like, it could be crucial in the British and Irish Lions tour, because of the fact that if we do get to see the 3 test matches, the Springboks will be just that little bit less prepared than the British and Irish Lions, who at this stage are going to have a lot of matches leading up to the match. It's going to be interesting to see how those test matches are going to be going. But the British and Irish Lions so far, they have been playing some pretty good rugby throughout the games that we have witnessed. They aren't going to be playing this weekend up against the Bulls at this stage, it seems, because of the COVID cases for the Bulls, and also the COVID cases in the British and Irish Lions camp, depending on whether or not that does end up increasing throughout the next few days. But now it's going to be in the hands. Oh, that's a good run there. Who was that? Who actually was that? The number 20 in this match. I think they've changed who they have got on the bench as well. I'm trying to recognize that face, but I can't quite work it out because he isn't facing the camera. Oh, it's a knock on there. And it was Jeremy Ward. And he is swearing to himself there. Unfortunately, it was a knock on. And that is a big shame, because of the fact that could have been another try for the Sharks there. And you just feel bad for them. Everything is just not going their way in this game. He has just said, Bull S is the call from Jeremy Ward. He's made 7 tackles, they are showing in this game. But unfortunately, the Sharks at this stage, they just haven't been able to counter this fast-paced British and Irish Lions side. And the physicality of the forwards once again and the breakdowns has been pretty huge for them, because of the fact that they have just been able to keep that ball in that breakdown anytime that they have wanted it, and also have been able to turn the ball over quite nicely as well when they have needed to. But I will mention, if you are new to the channel as well, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. We have got a few people watching at the moment. I do appreciate you all being here. At this stage, we are also sitting on 44 likes. So maybe let's see if we can get that to 50 by the end of this live stream. And also at this stage, we are getting very close to 3,000 subscribers. So if you want to help us out, please do it. It's hugely appreciated. Like I mentioned, now it's going to be Ali Price. Goes back now to Elliot. Daily ball come free. But he has been able to claim that one. Jeremy Ward now on that ball straight away. Has he got it? No. It has bounced out the side, and now it's going to be back in the hands of the Sharks. It's a little knock-on advantage as well. Can the Sharks score again in this match? You got to feel for them the way that it's been going. But now it's going to be a little kick of mine by Vol Mink, gone straight into touch, and that's going to be advantage over as well. What is that from the Sharks? Unfortunately, that is not what they would have been wanting as well. South Africa A is the newest South African, Jasper Wise. I think I say his name wrong. Or Visa, sorry, Jasper Visa. And the other teams will be the 2019 South Africa as well, says BDG. And also game's over, says Jermaine. It is indeed. At this stage, the Sharks just have to try and score themselves one more. And tell you what, James Fenter there, driving at the line, only a couple meters short. Can they do it here, the Sharks? Hendrickson goes back now. And Tyke Furlong running up. If they can turn this one over in the breakdown, it looks like it could be as well. Oh, he has stolen it there for the British and Irish Lions. And that is heartbreaking for the Sharks once again. They are just too good in the breakdown. My voice is almost disappearing at this stage. That is a brilliant kick as well. And it's gone almost into touch. Thicker Abrahams now firing across field. Not a best pass, but now it's going to be Vol Mink with a little bit of an opportunity. Another grubber attempt. I'm not sure what the idea behind that one was. Once again, it's backfire for them. Taken nicely there by Marius Lowe. We'll read the rest of the chat in a very short moment as well. Now it is going to be an answer. Finn Russell, tackling was Finn Russell. My voice is almost disappearing on me. It's going to last for another 15 minutes of this match. That is for sure. But now it's going to be around the side. I believe that was possibly Van Feren, who was having a carry. It's an advantage now. And by the looks of it, are they going to take the penalty? No, they've decided to have the attack once again. Buthelezi with a good fend on the man in the number 20 jersey. Oh, I'm trying to recognize. I know his face, but I can't work out who he is. I think it's Jack Conan, actually. That is the name that I have been missing. It's going to be fired back now. Werner Koch almost lined up by Daly. He is lined up by Russell, and they're going back for the penalty now to the British and, to the South African side, the Sharks. We have also got, okay, you reached 50 as well. Says BDG, surely not. If we just reach 50 that quickly, that is incredibly impressive. geez, we did. Thank you all very much. I didn't expect it to bounce up as quickly as it did just then. It is usually appreciated. And we have got they perhaps should have played the tour in the UK and split the profits with South Africa. Says David. David, yeah, it's a tricky one because of the fact I think they were hoping that they were going to be able to get through this one without too many problems. But yeah, unfortunately, hasn't quite run as smoothly as they would have loved it to. But hopefully we do still get to see, beautiful kick, Kerwin Bosch. 5 meters out now, the Sharks are going to have it. I thought he kicked it too far for a second there, but it was advantage for not rolling away. It was up against the number 17, which in this one I believe was Rory Sutherland. Wasn't quite able to get away. And 54, let's get to 60, says BDG. Maybe we will be able to do it. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on this live stream. Go British and Irish Lions as well, says Jet Lees. And also who wins in the rugby yesterday? It was Australia. We're able to get the last minute penalty that won them the game up against France, 23 points to 21. With the tries, Michael Hooper was able to score the try for the Wallabies, one of the match-winning tries, I guess you could say as well. Mara Toje making his way out onto the park as well. He is someone who wasn't originally going to be in the starting lineup or reserves. They're going to be defending this one here, the rolling maul. And at this stage, Mara Toje straight through the middle, trying to get it. It's gone off the back now for Funfedin, trying to break through the tackle of Navidi. They're getting close to the touchline, or they're getting close to the try line, I should say. Going to be in the hands of the big forward once again, number 19, which in this one is JJ van der Mesh. Rushing up. I think Aki was offside there. That's going to be advantage. No, it's not. He was onside, they are saying. Looked like he was about a metre or two off, but now it is going to be a short ball. Once again, they've got the advantage here, the Sharks. And at this stage now, they are only a few metres out. They just need to drive with their big forwards and see if they can get themselves over the line here. It's going to be JJ van der Mesh getting close. Driven sideways by Navidi, leaving his feet there. Was the number 5. They've dove on that ball. And it is going to be going back, and it is going to be a yellow card, is it? No, it is just going to be offside. They want to take it quickly here. Are they going to do it? Yes, they do now. It's going to be driving at the line. Mara Toje making the tackle. Involved with a few of the other British and Irish Lions players. They are literally inches from the line here. It's going to be passed back. I believe that was by Grant Williams now trying to set it up. Who is going to be able to get it? Mara Toje trying to jump over the ruck once again. And they've given away the advantage once again here. And now around the side, getting close. The ball is going to be held up though. And at this stage, it is just a pile of bodies. They're going back for another penalty. I'm sorry, but that's going to be getting close to a yellow card, doesn't it? 2 in a row right out in front here. And they are going to be going back, unfortunately. Ended up missing the tap, so because of it now, it means that they are going to be going again with a quick tap. Does it quickly. Now it's going to be in the hands of, I believe it was the number 20 once again. And at this stage, I think one more penalty means that they've got to be going to the bin. Grant Williams goes to Buthelezi with the high carry. But he is dragged down by Elliot Daly now. Grant Williams going back across field now. Goes to Funfedin. And it looked like it was going to be Beard trying to get in that one. Not quite able to. Once again, going to the big forwards. And anytime they've done this a few times in a row, has been working out for them here, the Sharks. They just need to keep on hanging on to this ball. And when the handling errors aren't playing factor, well, that's a big hit from Tyke Furlong and the other front rowers bending him backwards there, the Sharks player. Buthelezi now around the side of the ruck once again, trying to drive forward for the Sharks, trying to get through that last line of defence for the British and Irish Lions. Now it's going to be Von Mink carrying the ball a little bit too high, but he has been dragged down by Sullivan. Now it's going to be the man, Muchunu, trying to get in there, not able to get over the line, still 5 metres out. And at the stage, the ball is out and it's stolen there by the British and Irish Lions. And they are going to be kicking it downfield, or are they going to be having a counter-attack? They've decided to kick it downfield. That is a huge boot from Lewis Rees-Sammet. And that is a phenomenal kick, driving the Sharks right back to their own 22 now. Von Mink, counter-attack though, finding a bit of space up the middle of the field. Still going Von Mink, trying to find the offload. Oh, it's been knocked down though. And now it's going to be Navidi with the counter-attack. No one's going to catch him as well. And Navidi's going to make it to the try line. They may go back to check to see who ended up possibly, whether there was a knock-on in that situation. But it could be another try for the British and Irish Lions there as well. We have also got in there 1-0 for Denmark at this stage, says Doug Beale Skates. So they are doing decently as well, and England are winning 12-3 in the under-20s, but it wasn't a video who was able to score that one. And then it was Von Mink with a good counter-attack, tried to go for the little offload, and then it was off Arki, I believe. Ended up going backwards, and then from there, Navidi too quick, and he does manage to run all the way to the try line and scores a try for the British and Irish Lions. We will add that once again, and we will add another name to that list, and that is going to be Josh Navidi there. And I think that is going to be the last thing he does in this match because he is now going to be going off the field. Josh That's a hard one to spell when you are trying to think at the same time. But 71 minutes into this game, and the British and Irish Lions, their defence 5 metres out from their line. They've given away a few penalties, but they have also been able to stop those tries as well. Just read some Lions players got some cases. How true is this as well, said Jermaine? I believe it is one player and a member of the management or the coaching staff, I believe, is the case at this stage. They are checking it to see if it was a little knock on there. Oh, it is. Coming from an offside position, I think that's going to be possibly called back. We're going to have to take that try off Nvidia. Feel bad for the man because he has just been subbed. But I believe, if I'm not wrong, that is going to be taken off Mara Toje getting in there. And that is going to be offside. Wait, what are they deciding? Whether or not he's entered the tackle? Offside penalty, right. It's going to be a no try. I was confused for a second. It seemed like they were still going to be given that one. It means that Mara Toje giving away that penalty. It does mean that it is going to be a no try. Denmark 1-0 as well. And we have got, why don't you have any mods in here? As well, says BDG. I guess it's just one of those things that I haven't really gotten to the stage of doing. I would like to have mods at some stage. So I feel like those guys, like you guys who have been tuning in for most of these live streams, I feel like some of you guys will end up as the mods. I think it is because of the fact that normally my goal on these live streams is to read every single message. Like, because at the end of the day, I feel like you guys have gone through the effort of typing it out. So I want to be able to kind of show my appreciation for you guys being here in that regard. So I think because of the fact that I read every single message normally, it means that I don't really have any that don't end up getting seen by me. So I can just end up blocking those ones that are bad. Jermaine, 2 players and 1 coaching staff. As well, says Graham, and come on, boys, let's get to 60 as well, for that is the light goal. So let's see if we can do it. The Sharks now have got an opportunity 15 metres out from the British and Irish Lions line. All Blacks to go play All Blacks is going to play in a bad weather, as well, says Flower. So that is unfortunate, although isn't the game in Dunedin? So that is going to be in a stadium with a roof, so we should be all right in that regard. But we also got the Lions are determined to win this tour, as the 2009 tour was pretty brutal and the Lions could have won it. There is a lot of old grudges between these two sides, and even these two sides have been pretty fired up throughout this match. Now, it is going to be the man in the number 20 or 1 jersey, it is, Dylan Richardson there. Now it's going to be Grant Williams, goes across to the captain, Buthelezi once again, getting driven backwards in the tackle by the British and Irish Lions. And at this stage, they just want to break through here, the Sharks. They want one more try before the end of this game. That's going to be called a maul, though, is it? And it's going to be stolen by Hamish Watson, the man who made a lot of tackles in that first match up against the Sigma Lions. The most, I believe he had 16. Werner Koch taking that one nicely. He's got Duan van der Merwe right on him, but he has passed it across field now, and it's going to be Von Mink trying to pierce his way up the middle of the field. He has tackled low, though, and I believe that was by Jack Conan. Now it's going to be Buthelezi once again carrying the ball. They have shut him down extremely well throughout this match because he hasn't really had too many opportunities of making meters. Now Grant Williams making a few for his side as well. Now it is going to be back. A little bit of an awkward pass back to Werner Koch, but he is close to the touchline, trying to step on the inside. And he has been tackled by Van der Merwe on the halfway line. Now it's going to be Grant Williams once again. Hamish Watson almost jumping the gun a little bit there as well. Buthelezi now nailed in the tackle. But it is going to be up to 5 phases now for the Sharks. Counter ruck happening here, and it's going to be a steal now for the British and Irish Lions. Passes over the top. Mara Toje now. So a little bit of a dummy goes out to Elliot Daly and Van der Merwe this time. This one's not going to be disallowed. And Duan van der Merwe scores himself a hat trick. The ex-South African, or still the South African, I guess you could say, and that man has been able to score it. We will add those points back that we did end up taking off them. Duan van der Merwe was able to score it, and that's the benefit, as well as the fact that I don't actually have to add another name. So that is always happy days in that regard. But in the 73rd minute, another try, the steal and the breakdown once again for the Sharks. Just too dangerous in that situation. Then from there, quick hands. Toje out to Daly with the little tap on to Duan van der Merwe. And he was able to score his 3rd of the match. And at this stage, very impressive from him indeed. We have got a whole heap of people in the chat as well. There we go. As well, says BDG. And Koch is looking quite good. He needs to pull in a try as well. Yeah, that's the thing. I've been thoroughly impressed with him. And I feel like the combination of him, Lebok, and also Abrahams, I thought was going to be one of those ones that maybe it was going to be tough for the British and Irish Lions to counter. But with that extra pace that they brought in to the side just before it was kicked off, it's one of those ones that, yeah, looking very dangerous. What was the halftime score? It was 26-0 to the British and Irish Lions, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think that is the case. And thanks, Graham, as well, says Jermaine. And also, we have got my prediction is really strong. Come on, Sharks, get one more try and miss the kick. Lions, don't score, please, as well. That one has gone down the middle. And that means now that it is going to be 47 to the British and Irish Lions, 7 to the Sharks. What was the score in that last match between the Sigma Lions? 54-12, wasn't it? Or something along those lines. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Joe Davies has said, unpopular opinion, Itoje is overrated. That's one that there are always two sides of that story, I have a feeling. And it's one of those ones, he gives away a lot of penalties, which I feel like it's one of those ones, if you are a good player, but you do end up giving away quite a few penalties, it kind of ends up slightly downgrading it a little bit, if that makes sense. Like, you don't want to be one of those guys who do end up having very good games, but then cost your team. Maybe like, because that's the thing, penalties can lead to 6 points there. Oh, in this situation, this is going to be an unfortunate try because Rory Sutherland, it is going to be a knock-on, which is probably the best case scenario because the ref actually ended up blocking one of the Sharks players there, which did lead to the opportunity of the break for Rory Sutherland. But now the Sharks have got this ball once again, 45 metres out from the British and Irish Lions line. Are they going to be able to get over the line one more time? Richardson there taking the contact. Goes back now. Inside ball from Kerwin Bosch. Oh, that's big contact. Tyke Furlong. You know that you're not going to end up winning a battle with him too many times. Buddha Lazy now with a good carry. But he is tackled by Conan and also Sutherland. Now it's going to be Grant Williams. Does a bit of a dummy. Ends up almost fumbling the ball, though, which did kind of hold his momentum a little bit there. And at this stage now, Werner Koch plays halfback. Goes back into the hands of Richardson once again. Tackled by Itoje. Of course, always loves to try and get himself in the breakdown when he does get the opportunity. Now it's going to be Funfearden once again getting a carry. Ellie Price wanting that ball, tapped it, and then decided to go against it. Grant Williams now around the side once again. He has been looking pretty strong since coming on the field as well. Ball is still available for the Sharks. Looks like they are going to be going to the right-hand side. No, they decide to go to the left instead. That was a nice play. Itoje lines up Maria Slow there. And once again, the defensive line of the British and Irish Lions has been holding up all. Rory Sutherland holding the collarbone in the background. Little fumble there, and it's a knock-on advantage. And now it's going to be Hamish Watson. Flings the wide ball. Elliot Daly quick hands to Duan van der Merwe. Drops the ball, though. Gets an awkward one. Tell you what, Josh Adams went flying there over the top of van der Merwe. But they are going to be stopping now and going back. We have also got in there as well. Damn, and there we go from BDG. And also 19-3 under-26 nation for England over Wales. And come on, don't miss as well, says BDG. No, 14-56 as well. And we have also got Dammit OG and new scrum half as well. Cockney scrum half as well, says BDG. Although I believe the one that we are talking about is Werner. Oh, yeah. I guess he did play scrum half just before. And he did decently. I feel like wherever you put that man, he would be a decent player. Werner Koch, he just seems to be, like, when you've got a guy of his size, like, he's not the biggest player in the world, but you know that he's going to throw 110% of his body weight around, which is exactly what you want to see indeed. And we also got 2,984 subscribers, so I do thank you all very much for hitting that subscribe button. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, leave a like on this live stream if you have been enjoying. We are going to be back for all of the other matches that are going to be taking place for the British and Irish Lions tour, as well as a few extra internationals, the likes of the All Blacks. We are going to be following all of their games leading into the Bledisloe Cup up against Fiji. Also, Samoa versus Tonga Rugby World Cup qualifier. Maybe even throw in a Wales versus Argentina as well for good measure. We've got British and Irish Lions 56 and the Lions 14. So we're not too far away from that total at this stage. 4 carries for Duan van der Merwe, and he scored 3 tries. I feel like that's one of those ones that you can't get much better than that in terms of the amount of times that you touch a ball compared to the amount of tries that you're able to score. But 3 minutes left in this match currently. So if there is one more try to the British and Irish Lions, that would bring them up to around that 54 mark, and the Sharks would only be on 7. Now, that's a big thing. I felt like in this match there was going to be less of a difference in score than there was in the match between the Lions and the British and Irish Lions. But in this case, at the moment, it is a 40 points difference, and it can't actually get as big as the one was for the Sigma Lions match. They went a little bit early there, the British and Irish Lions, did they? No, it is all right in that regard by the looks of it. And that is a huge push from the British and Irish Lions. Once again, now they're going short side. Finn Russell, nice ball to Reece Salmon, and now it's going to be a foot race. Werner Koch almost able to stop him, and they have been able to shut him down the wing there. And Werner Koch trying to counteract, not quite able to. Atoje now getting a carry. He is hard in the tackle there by Herbst. Now going back. It's going to be in the hands of Daly now. Nice backline movement available now. Oh, it's a great ball. And it's going to be Josh Adams going for the corner, and he scores it. Maybe they do have time to get more points than they did get in the last match, but that is a hat trick once again for Josh Adams. 2 games in a row. Tell you what, anyone who is great with their statistics and whatnot, when was the last time a British and Irish Lions player scored a hat trick 2 games in a row? Do let me know, because that is exactly what Josh Adams has done here. Was the backline movement. Watson went out to Daly. Then from there, just a nice pass. I believe it was to Lupe Faletau, who just got rid of Marnie Labok. Then from there, I said that he had cat-like reflexes there. The number 11, Thicko Abrahams, he jumped on the back of Josh Adams like a cat, but he wasn't quite able to stop him. And that is that bit of rhyming Dr. Seuss in the house, ladies and gentlemen. But at this stage now, Josh Adams, 8 carries, 59 metres made, 4 defenders beaten, 7 gain line success, and 2 tackles made. But he has scored himself once again 3 tries. My voice is almost leaving me at this stage. It's almost gone, unfortunately. And we have also got in there where Van der Mervis tries Walkins, or did he work for them? Overall, the first one, I think it was, if I'm not wrong, he had a little bit of skill, how he had to kick it in behind, but it was Farrell who kicked it across field, and then he kind of grubbered it forward. But then other than that, I think the other 2 have kind of been just the run down the wings. And Lewis Rees-Zammit, a little bit the same with his try. It was just a case of right place, right time. Pace to burn. He has nailed that kick. And that means now it is going to be 54 to the British and Irish Lions and only 7 to the Sharks. Now we have still got one more kickoff to come in this match. Now the big situation here is whether or not they decide to go for one more attack here for the British and Irish Lions, or do they decide to kick it out? Josh Adams tearing it up. As I said, Sebastian, he is indeed. He is looking very impressive. 1-1 at the moment in the Euros as well, Doug has said. So that's going to be interesting. Might be a bigger score because of the game, or of more game time together, starting to click more. Yeah, that's true. And that's an awkward one for the British and Irish Lions. Driven close to the touchline now. Straight over the ball. That is going to be the siren. And by the looks of it, Finn Russell kicks the ball into touch. And that is going to be the end of the game. The British and Irish Lions winning this match comfortably. 54 points to the 7 of the Sharks. And this scoreline was not one that I don't think many people were expecting. I don't think it was going to be this much of a split from first glance, but they played extremely well there, the British and Irish Lions, for a game that at times looked like it may not have even been taking place in the build-up. We got to see it, and we got to see some good rugby out of it as well. And we have also got there, I wonder who will be man of the match, Josh or Duhan. I feel like if it's anything like kind of like under eights, how you're not allowed to give the man of the match to the same player twice. Maybe they have that at international rugby as well, which in that regard, they would give it to Duhan Vinamura. I'm sure they don't have that at international rugby. Man of the match is man of the match, but I feel like maybe Duhan Vinamura might earn himself that man of the match position as well. And we have got also, I'm calling Josh as well, says BDG, and Josh Adams way off the record of tries, though that's a shame. I think someone scored 30 plus for them once, though he got another try, or he's got another tour in him too as well, says Mark Jones. And we have also got, and their new prediction is 57 or 54 to 7. Tell you what, spot on in that regard, although that might have been written after, depending on when it was. Okay, the Sigma Lions did better than the Sharks as well, says BDG. And also we have got Bertie. I said, Hamish, thank you for the awesome stream and commentating. Thank you very much for tuning in as well, mate. Much appreciated. Great commentary. Good job from Doug Peel Skates. And yeah, hopefully whoever you are going for in that Euros game is able to get the win. Thanks for the magnificent commentary. Much love, says BDG as well. And in the end, you were able to hang onto that money, because the Sharks, for that one little moment, it looked like they might have been able to make some sort of comeback, but then other than that, it was pretty much a one-horse race in this matchup. Cheers for the commentary, mate, as well, says Sebastian, and lovely chatting. Lads, see you next game as well. And yeah, at this stage of the next game, I believe, if I'm not wrong, it's going to be midweek next week, and that is going to be South Africa A taking on the British and Irish Lions. The Bulls versus the British and Irish Lions game from the weekend is going to be delayed, or is going to be postponed, depending on when it gets to take place. Also, the Springboks versus Georgia game has been cancelled for you guys who are just tuning in now as well. And we have got Fab commentary. Thanks, mate. We'll be back for the rest as well, says Joe Davies. And yeah, I do appreciate all you guys who have been tuning in for pretty much, I feel like some of you guys have been here for the whole match, which is hugely appreciated. Mike Jones has a bit shocked. Yeah, I don't think, I mean, I certainly didn't see it as this much of a split in terms of, I thought the Sharks would have had a bit more of a chance in this one, but unfortunately for them, like the handling errors were huge for them in that first half, and I feel like that was something that really started to kind of put them just not able to find that momentum that they would have been after. I'm just seeing some full-time stats for you guys as well to see whether or not we get to see much of a change, but I believe the possession in the second half would have almost been going to the Sharks, so they were almost able to get that a little bit back in that regard. 60% in the end, 70% of possession in that second half went to the Sharks. So it's one of those ones that they had enough ball in that second, they just couldn't quite get anything going with the 8 tries for the British and Irish Lions as well. We have got, don't worry, next live, I'll bet again in a few, if I know the teams well, says BDG. So I am looking forward to that as well. We have got good commentary today, Hamish. Go get some rest. I'm off to work today, so I'm going to check out the new reaction channel. I think I've already seen it as well. I think you may be subscribed, David, if I'm not wrong. I know you are subscribed to the gaming channel, Kiwi Lads Gaming, that we have got a few videos on ARC on there as well, looking like a good midweek team. Not many with, or not many will make the test team. Thanks for the commentary, Hamish. Keep safe, mate. You too, Michael. And thank you very much for tuning in as well. Crazy NZ is back in the chat as well. Welcome in, mate. And we have what's got in there as well. We have got, I think I was here the whole match. You were indeed right from the get-go, which is pretty awesome. And it is awesome to see all of you guys who have been tuning in for these live streams over the British and Irish Lions tour. And hopefully we do get to see many more games in the future between these two sides, or between the British and Irish Lions side and the South African teams. I feel like at this stage, it is currently almost 8 a.m. here in New Zealand, which doesn't sound too bad. Sounds like a decent time to wake up. Although it will be around the time that I am going to sleep, because I haven't actually slept yet tonight. So I feel like that is why my brain is in a little bit of a scramble. 60 likes as well, which is pretty awesome. Not England. We won't to see a riot of drunken red roses in London, as well, says Matthew. And also we have got happy with that scoreline. Welsh boys representing there as well. Thanks for the commentary, Lad Legend, as well. Says to happening, and I do appreciate you being here throughout the live stream as well, mate. And if it's Team A, I'm guessing South Africa 35 and the Lions 54 as well. So that's the thing. The Lions at this stage, they have just been able to score a lot of tries throughout their games. Like Japan, I guess it doesn't really, like, yes, it was the very first game, but you don't realize how good Japan's defense was. Like, it was very strong. Like, Japan are a very good side. But then when you see them and the way that they are just carving up at this stage in terms of those backline movements, you realize that Japan were doing pretty well at that stage for their first game back as well since the World Cup. But I feel like as these games go on, will we get to see an upset with a South African side able to get a win? That's a big question. And we will have to wait and see whether or not it will be answered. And we have got next live, let's get you to 3K, says BDG. So the next live that we will be doing, I believe it will be, which one will it be? It will be Manu Samoa taking on Tonga, I believe, will be the next one that we do have. And we have got, damn it, Duhan is man of the match. Maybe it is the case of you're not allowed to give it to the same player twice in a row. He sounds very South African, though, to be fair, Duhan for the mover. We have also got there, hi, there is go to school as well, says Brandon. Yeah, it is time for a lot of you guys probably to either start work in New Zealand or end up going to school or something like that. So nonetheless, I think that is going to be the end of this live stream. I will end up possibly getting a bit of sleep, and then we will be getting ready for a Hyper Rugby that is going to be taking place on Saturday. But if you did enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you all for the next one.